Tinfoil Hat.
Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat, live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. Go to samtriple.gold, use the promo code TINFOIL, and you can get in the Precious Metals game for as little as $50 a month. Precious Metals sent right to your house. Today we're going to get into a little bit of the culture wars. Are we winning? Are we losing? Joining me in studio, she's one of the best that does it. I love her to pieces. Chrissy Mayer, how are you?
Oh my God, Sam, it's so exciting to be here.
I know you're here to do a bunch of podcasts, and we're super excited to have you here. And joining us via the power of Skype, Ben Bankas. How are you, buddy?
How are you? Skype invented by Jews. Fun fact.
Love the Jews. Live with a Jew. Mitzi Shore Jew. Jesus Jew. Love Jews. Dig into it.
I'm loving the DMV background, Ben. God forbid you hang a photo up, or you're like, I'm doing one plant and one light, and that's it.
It's slowly coming together. We got some. There's some swastikas on the way.
Oh, good.
Love it. Ben, I've been hearing nothing but amazing things about you. All my comedy friends are all just like, dude, you gotta gig with this guy. You gotta get this guy in the show. So I'm glad we could make it happen. For those who may not be familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where our listeners can find you?
Ben Bankas 2 on Instagram, and just put out a comedy special on YouTube, youtube.com/Ben Bankas. All that can be found at Ben Bankas, BANKAS.com. And I'm on tour. I'm going to be in May. I'm going to be in Detroit, Boston, Canada, other places, and Poughkeepsie, I think, Appleton, Wisconsin. So go check me out, benbankas.com.
You're crushing it, dude. Look at that picture. That's crushed.
I like how he says Poughkeepsie.
I do too.
Poughkeepsie.
Chrissy, where can they find you?
Oh my goodness. I will be breastfeeding. No, I actually have some dates too. I'm going back on the road. I'll be at Fort Wayne Comedy Club March 29th.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I've never been, and I'm excited about that. And then I got I'll be back doing a gig in Westchester at Jazz on Main May 18th. Back on Long Island at the Brokerage August 8th and 9th.
Where can they get those dates?
Oh, go to my website, ChrissyMayer.com, and follow me on Twitter at Chrissy Mayer, Instagram, Chrissy Mayer Pod.
They're all there, the dates. Go to samtriple.com, Tacoma. We got Detroit, we got Tacoma, and we got new dates going San Diego, a whole bunch of places. So go to samtriple.com. Are we winning or are we losing the cultural war, guys? What are your thoughts, Ben? Are we winning? Are we losing? Does it matter? Who cares? What is your thoughts on all that?
I think things are just so bad that I don't know. It's kind of like when you're a kid and your parents are yelling and you're like, I'm just going to go hide. That's kind of how it feels when everybody's just so maximum out of their minds that it's just becoming harder to, it's just hard, man. It's crazy. With the burning of the Teslas is, to me, is just it's the ultimate end of civilization moment, where it's the people who wanted green vehicles got green vehicles, but the guy who made them they don't agree with, so they have to destroy them all, and it's bad.
And it's crazy to me because nobody watches MSNBC, nobody watches CNN, but yet somehow their message is everywhere, and I've never understood that. Because the end of these progressive news sites has been going on for a while. The slow death.
The death rattle.
Right? The death rattle. But somehow their talking points are everywhere. And I
I think
don't.
it's just all. It's all because of universities. Universities are the real reason that every single thing is happening, from like the transgender stuff to the Palestine stuff to
Yeah.
Jew stuff to literally every problem that's on X can be traced back to just really nerdy, annoying people at universities teaching kids really stupid shit.
And there's always going to be a dumb, fresh set of activists, fertile ground for sending them out to do dumb shit.
Well, it's also that we're kind of a victim of our success in that, like, when you have a certain amount of wealth and you live a certain social economic level, you're allowed to drift into idealism and what we call all the time, like, it's not my term, but you're just fighting windmills that you think are monsters, and you're Don Quixote and you're just battling this windmill thinking you're battling the forces of evil, and in reality you're just living a privileged life because you can worry about things that there's no real goal line to. Like it's like there's that famous, I don't know if you saw it, it seems like it would fit in one of your shows, about in Minnesota, the girl was at the altar with the guy and she ended up booting him because he didn't talk enough about BLM or gay rights.
She was just doing that. It was was it 90? No, it was the show where
Love
they
is
talked
Blind.
Love is Blind, and she was just doing that because she was trying to have her moment and get as much like viral success from that as she can.
But like even that is just like, you're a Minnesota white girl. Like, you're allowed to drift into caring about things that, that really, where is the climate change affecting you in Minnesota where it's fucking freezing?
Right. Most
It's
people.
she probably just sucked like a George Floyd dick at one point.
I wouldn't doubt
It's a luxury to spend your days worried about this shit that doesn't really affect you. Like, I don't have time. I don't care about Israel, Palestine, really. Like, I want to try to pay my bills. I want to try to like keep my baby alive. So I just think it's a real luxury to spend your time being like, oh, the environment. It's exactly. It's like, well, you live in Minnesota, and do you have black friends?
Well, the BLM shit's like think about what you're doing. If you live in Minnesota and you're still concerned about BLM and they burnt down your city, like, you go, and I had an argument with my friends like about George Floyd. Like, he OD'd. Maybe I think Chauvin didn't handle it correctly. I think he was there to make sure he died.
He should have used both knees.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
He should get
That's where he went wrong.
So he should get pardoned?
Yes, of course. Pardon Derek.
He should have done it in an alleyway.
hey, come over here. Let's OD over here. OD over here. And but then to be sympathetic to the people who burnt down your city, to the people who like I remember I went and did stand up like the year of that stuff in Minnesota, and they had like this high school this group of kids come in, they were graduating. It was like part of their like graduation present was to go to a stand up show, and I'm like, you kids have been fucking traumatized, dude.
Wow.
Just fucking traumatized.
Have you been to the George Floyd Memorial in
I was
Minnesota?
there, dude.
It's the most unkempt, disgusting. It looks like an old garage sale. Everything there is like sun drenched, and it's sort of become like the memorial for like any black person who's died. Like they throw up photos like, oh, here's my cousin Kenny. Like remember him too. And like nothing's being taken out. There's nothing fresh. It's all just like old.
Is
and
it just like a McDonald's?
Everything's wet. Everything's wet from the rain. Nothing's covered. It's disgusting. And they changed Cup Foods to like Union Food, so I went there just to take a photo in front of Cup Foods, and it's not even called that anymore.
Dude, my favorite thing is go to McDonald's and just there is a race war every time there between black trans and cholos. That's every McDonald's now is just giant black trans ready to take on a whole fucking village of fucking Latinos. And that's every McDonald's. McDonald's used to be a fun place to go. We did something on doom scrolling where McDonald's used to give away trees in their Happy Meal so you could grow a tree. Now it's just fucking. They're hiding shanks in your cheeseburgers.
They're not letting teenagers in anymore. Some of the locations you have to be 20 and above.
When I was a kid, their playground.
Yes,
That's crazy.
I forget what city they're doing this in, but you have to be 20 or older. because I think they just don't want the teenagers like loitering.
Dude, do you remember
Not
when I had a
buying.
playground? They had a Nintendo at one point where you go to McDonald's and they had a little like a video game where you would be able to play.
You
and-
can't do that, dude. That would be broken. Day
That
one.
would be
Yeah.
stolen.
Yeah.
Destroy it.
It would be crazy, dude. Yeah. So I mean, like the whole trauma of that, and it's just like, and it's the same people leading the cause, and it's white progressive women that are just who, you know, we were talking earlier about like, you know, white women in their 40s that don't have children, and if you don't have kids, it's fine, but it's like you have a different mindset. You're gonna place that motherly love onto something. And it's either going to be your
Minorities.
children or minorities and trans.
You know what we need? We need more female suicide. That's what I think. Because we just have. I mean, it's always guys. We always have to kill ourselves because of right. You know, it's like more of these cat ladies just need to pull the plug.
And let's face it, if it is a woman who kills herself, it's probably a trans.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Those surgeries don't fix that. Don't fix up here.
Yeah, and like the whole thing with like 3 out of 4, I'm like, okay, and you think it's all society's fault? Has nothing to do with the lifestyle, the drugs, pumping yourself full of hormones. I mean, you watch an aspirin commercial on television. Half the commercials, I'm telling you, hey, this may make you want to kill yourself, and then you're telling me that you pumping yourself full of hormones wouldn't do the exact same thing.
I think people just don't have like goals or like.
Yeah.
It's like all these people protesting and shit. They don't have like a sheet. They don't have like a piece of paper at home where they're like, okay, this is what I'm trying to get done in 2025. They're just fucking out of their minds. They're letting their emotions run wild. And it's the same thing with like any group that just prioritizes anything above their own, prosperity, because I feel like prosperity is the only thing. If we don't have religion, we don't have all these other things. It's like, what's keeping society together? The idea of prosperity, and that's being attacked too, because it's like, look at Elon Musk. I don't care that he came here legally. Send him back. It's like, dude, he's a beacon of hope for people that want to be prosperous, I think. And what comes with prosperity? Power, the power that maybe your voice is worth more than some, fucking retard on the side of the street that doesn't know anything. Why does Elon Musk get to speak for all of us? I don't know, because he spent the last 35 years making billions of dollars.
Yeah, he's an almost trillionaire. Let's see, probably has a few good ideas.
It is very weird the way people, like there's some billionaires that are fine. Like nobody protested that fucking piece of shit, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. And he's got just as high a profile as Elon Musk.
I protested that new hairdo. I don't know what he's thinking about. It's like a mop. It's like that new Gen Z broccoli hairdo that these kids are doing.
Well, it's just like, oh, here's an AI trying to be a human being. It's like,
he's
it's
really an
literally a movie. Look at this robot trying to assimilate.
All the relatable things he's picked up, like when he picked up barbecue, and just became obsessed with that. It's totally him trying to like install a personality on his.
But then he
operating
doesn't
system.
do anything. Anything he says he's doing, like the censorship is as bad as it ever been on Instagram.
I stream to Facebook. I'm saying like probably 3 out of 4 times I get it bounced back saying we took your episode off Facebook for hate speech. Just regular ass interviews with people get taken down.
But Ben,
I'm sure you said nothing wrong, Chris.
These are very tame interviews.
But Ben, you do really well on Instagram. Do you have a like a playbook?
Give us tips.
Yeah, give us people that are hated by Instagram how we can be loved.
I have a secret badge. It's a Star of David. Nobody can see it.
I knew it.
No, but I mean, I think that like within the parameters, I did have an Instagram taken down during COVID BLM. I think the most dangerous thing that you can do is tweet and then take a picture of it and post it. And if there's any bit of like, incitement of violence, or if it, even if it's tongue in cheek, that could really screw you over.
Yeah.
Or not censoring certain words, I guess. Talking too much about, suies. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say it on here.
You can say anything you want.
like, if you talk too much about suicide and fucking, if you pull it up and be like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself if this motherfucker Trump doesn't get it, like, yeah, you're gonna get, that's crazy. But so there's like, you definitely have to walk a line, I think. And I mean, sometimes that makes you more creative,
Right.
I mean, people have been dealing with this for thousands of years. So it's about getting your point across, like, without, like, for instance, you can do a Hitler salute as long as you're like not facing the camera, I think.
No, it was a Roman salute. Like you could say the N-word just in lowercase.
Well,
Yeah,
I also
or-
believe that like Instagram AI is so sophisticated that
Captions. I had somebody from Instagram, like somebody was talking to me that worked there, and they're basically like, the captions are the most critical part. Like, if you put something provocative in the caption, that could really screw you over. And also like the first frame. So if you know how you pick
Okay.
a first frame, like if the first frame is, all retards are faggots or something, you're fucked.
But not all
take that down,
faggots are
Johnny. Take it
retards.
down.
Right? But if the first frame's just like something random or chill, then I don't think it's searching for that as much, because there's tons of videos saying bad words on Instagram.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with Instagram is like, okay, if you're gonna have a rule, have it for everybody.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not like that at all. Like I'm the biggest idiot in the world. When I got my Instagram back, I started doing reaction videos to very politically incorrect videos. I would just be like, and I would just point to it. And I just wanted to see if I could get away with it. And because the videos that I would react to already had 1 million views on Instagram. They were already basically approved by Instagram. And they were like Asians ripping on Asians or special needs people, whatever it is. And, people making fun of black people, whatever it is. The video already had hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million views. And I'd just be like, I just make a face going, bang, just get shot down right there.
Wow.
Yeah. And to prove my point, the only person I hurt in the process was myself. But there is a double standard. And that's my biggest problem with all of it.
You might also have like extreme haters or like advanced haters that are like,
Oh, yeah,
And
that's for
shadow
sure,
ban.
too.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Every post is like, suspect. Every post.
I'll fucking block people. Like, if I see somebody like, because we're not only comedians, we're not only social media, blah, blah, blah. We're like the moderators of our own pages, right? So if somebody's like going on your page and they're like, just commenting on, like, you can see when they do like 5
Just
videos they're
spamming.
commenting on
Yeah.
about like how awful you are or whatever it is, just fucking block them, because they probably have like 12 accounts, 10 accounts.
Yeah, and they're not adding
afraid,
anything.
they're not afraid to go through and if they're willing to do that, they're willing to like try to get your shit banned.
Well,
But Instagram knows if it's the same person doing it over and over again. So there are some checks and balances. I think the scariest thing about social media is that there's nobody to fucking call. And I think that there's a big thing that
Johnny's going through that right now with Twitter.
Yeah, I got banned from Twitter, and it's
no.
impossible
For
to get-
nothing.
get a
What'd
hold
you
of
do?
anyone. I was in an argument with this, I think, like Ukrainians.
it was
like
probably so bad.
it truly
No, really, Johnny's not bad at all.
Yeah, well,
he's a moderate on
It
the
was.
show.
I was talking about Ukraine to a guy who claimed to be like part of the Ukrainian army or something.
Oh, wow.
And he said, "I'm going to destroy you now."
I'm
then
just-
a split second later, I got my account banned.
I'm
for
envisioning
some kind of-
the scene from Seinfeld
Jesus
where
Christ.
Kramer and Newman are playing Risk on the train, and then there's like this guy who turns around, Ukraine not weak, and then he like punches their whole board, and all the pieces go flying.
Yeah.
And what blows my mind is he actually pays for premium. So I think if you pay for
Wow.
that, you should have a little access
Yeah.
to call
Well, that's
someone.
the
I do
only way to
too.
get support now at all. You have to pay per premium to get anybody from
It's
support. But
now going to be $50 a month,
It's
and I had to
crazy.
like do the math. I'm like, okay, well, I am
hold,
getting paid at
for
least-
the regular,
premium
for the premium.
for the check mark.
for the check mark and the ability to be monetized
Go live
Yeah.
and stuff.
and streaming,
Like
which
all
I
the
think is
stuff we
worth
need,
it.
yeah.
Hey guys, real quick, I'll tell you about our good friends at Mint Mobile and their low prices on their data plans. Let me tell you about Mint Mobile. And I don't know about you, but I love keeping my money where I can see it. Okay. Unfortunately, traditional big wireless carriers also seem to like keeping my money too. Ain't that crazy? All right. After years of overpaying for wireless, I finally got fed up from crazy high wireless bills, bogus fees, and free perks that actually cost more in the long run. And that's why I switch to Mint Mobile.
Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at just $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. You can ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile, again, for just $15 a month.
So here's what we need you guys to do. If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/tinfoil. That's mintmobile.com/tinfoil.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 GB plan required, equivalent of $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Hey guys, real quick, I got a question for you. Have you tried everything under the sun for peace of mind? Well, it sounds like it's time for you to try Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. Let me tell you about Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. What do you think, Johnny?
Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies are made to help you feel better, whether you're dealing with stress, discomfort, or you just need a little relaxation. They only use the best part of the hemp plant, that's the flower, for the purest and most potent CBD. And all their products are third-party, lab-tested, and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity.
All right, so right now, Tinfoil Hat listeners can save 30% off their first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/tinfoil and use the code tinfoil at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/tinfoil and use the code tinfoil. And we thank them for sponsoring the show. I do think it. I don't know, man. Twitter is the only place I get any love.
Yeah.
I've been just annihilated everywhere.
Okay, if Instagram had a premium and it would let you get your 110,000 subscribers, or half of them at least, or at least 10%, would you pay for it?
How
on
much?
Instagram? I don't know,
50 a
$50.
month?
Yeah.
I would do that.
I think everybody should have to pay for it in a way because, like, number one, it's obviously bad for society, so maybe that would help people get off their phones. And number two, it's like most people are spending like between 4 and 10 hours on their social media. You can't even go to a McDonald's for 10 hours. You know what I mean? Like, or any other. And I know you're in your own home and shit, but it is becoming like, you know, with all the scary retarded people, it's like get rid of them. We need to get rid of them. We don't need to hear from them. I think, and this is controversial maybe because, you know, people want the freedom of, what about the free? Yeah, they have freedom to do it, but you're too poor, so fuck off.
So what you're saying is if you have $50 to have like a burner account, a shit account, you're cool with that?
You're committed to it.
I'm saying like any social media account in a way, maybe like I'm not saying for sure, but if you had to pay for Instagram,
Right, because it would keep the kids off of it, which we should.
Well, there's that, and like people who are buying tickets to your shows through social media, they're like are likely people who have a little bit more money. They're not like dirt poor people who are like, what? I have to pay $10 a month for something? No, fuck that. I'll never support it again. It's like, fuck those people suck. They suck.
Right,
There
yeah,
is
they'll
something-
spend how much on porn or whatever, you know.
I think
Whippets.
I think the Whippets, dude. That's my Whippets and porn budget. I still pay for porn. But I do think an issue is bots, and so much of it is bots. And you know, a lot of people are like, Twitter's toxic. Twitter's all this stuff. Ben, you've kind of alluded to that. The honest truth to me is that I feel like if you go back to 2008, the only people getting shit on Twitter were white guys. White guys were getting lit up. And then if you went, oh, what about the blacks? Jack would just drop the hammer on you. And I lost my Twitter for years. I lost my Twitter for years. This show literally has to have a fan who won't respond to me upload our show to YouTube.
Wow.
Because they want to get rid of our channel. And it's crazy to me, dude. It's fucking crazy to me. So when I hear
it's probably some guy you like DM'd in like 2013 or something. Like you probably sent some guy like, yo, fuck you. You know what I mean?
For sure.
That guy's just like dialed in for the rest of his life. Like you ruined his life. His whole life's goal is to take down Sam Tripoli's show on YouTube.
Well, there's also people that have like kind of carved out this kind of like space on the internet of just trolls. And it's usually failed comedians who don't know what to tried it, failed horribly. And in a weird way, they're almost like some comedy club owners, where like they tried it, it didn't work. So they created a club because they had money. And they created a club to play the way that would do comedy the way they wanted comedy done. There's a famous comedy club out here, I'm not going to say the name of it, was started by somebody who was a clean comic. And then the club should be one of the biggest clubs in the city. It's a gorgeous club, but it's not. Because they didn't let comedy be comedy. It's like we were talking about the dojo.
Yeah.
Ben, if you're ever in the Jersey area, you want to play a great club, we do great door deals. It's a small club. It's called the Dojo of Comedy. We'd love to have you there. But it's thriving right now because it's like go crazy.
Good
Go
energy,
crazy.
Good people.
No, the owner listened to Sam. Sam was like, do this, do that. And
Yep.
he really didn't fight it. And now every comic goes, he's like, who thought of
They
this?
treat the comics so well.
Food's good. But anyways, the point is like once you try to control it, that's when it goes a little fucking nuts, you know? So it's just
Yeah.
But
I think-
going
I
back
don't
to
know.
the comedy club,
It's
guys,
always going to be like that. There's always been people who are jealous and want to do what comedians do. And, you know, back in the day when, in the 80s, there was a comedian, they're controversial. People would protest that comedian. People would send angry, nasty letters to that comedian. But the difference is that, or send angry, nasty letters to the network that comedian might have a TV show on. The difference is then networks and stuff would look at those crazy people and go, yeah, these people are nuts. Screw them. We don't care because we're still making money. Whereas now it's like, well, every voice matters. And, you know, there was a few people who work at Netflix who just got trans surgeries who are not comfortable. That shit is the issue. It's not, people are always going to be jealous and mad and want to ruin you. The issue is that like the big companies like Instagram and, you know, all the platforms are willing to be like, oh yeah, this one person didn't like you, pull the plug. That's the fucked up part.
And to Ben's point, like it used to be like, well, only the executives would see these letters and they could just throw them out. Whereas now everybody sees the posts, you know, and then you have to make sure you don't.
And when you hear people say cancel culture isn't real, there's some truth to that, but it's not the way they think it is. It does exist, okay? But it's not real in terms of the people trying to cancel aren't powerful enough to cancel you. It's just these corporations give them the illusion of it. So you have like 5 blue-haired trans going, wah, Dave Chappelle. Well, Dave Chappelle's a bad example because Dave's like, they're trying to cancel me. I'm like, you're on a private jet,
he's
dude.
untouchable.
You're fine. You're on a private.
They can't take away people liking you. They can't they can't force people not to like you.
That's
but they
Crystalia.
They can
Really? I mean, like, you can say whatever you want about Crystalia. At the worst, he's Jerry Seinfeld. So if you're okay with Seinfeld, you should be okay with Crystalia. It's just the truth. And Jeffrey Ross is even worse than that. And nobody cares. And he's getting TV shows on Netflix left and right. So you can do whatever you want with it, you know, and people can really hate Crystalia. But at worst, he's Jerry Seinfeld. And people are like, he's not canceled. Look, he's canceled. He used to be at the King of the Mountain out in LA. There was 4 guys that would sell tickets in LA. It was Joe Rogan, Bill Burr, Joey Diaz, and Crystalia. And now that guy, he can't do it. He has to go on the road. He can't even get ads on his fucking on his podcast.
Wow.
Because his name is shit. Why Jeffrey Ross gets show after show after show on Netflix.
And he has no eyebrows.
And he's the fastest guy I've ever seen with cancer. It's unbelievable. But like people are like, you can't cancel him. Go on.
No, what they did to Harvey Weinstein was disgusting.
What about Candace Owens?
Oh, she went on Piers Morgan and defended him hard.
Candace Owens did?
Yeah.
Really?
Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah, she said she went all over his trial, and
He's been calling her, talking about his trial.
That's the craziest thing. That might be the
So
craziest
that-
thing I've heard this
So
week.
that she would talk
Yeah,
about
but
it?
Johnny, you think Woody Allen is innocent?
Right. I said this week, not of all time.
Okay.
You think that's crazy? Do you think that's crazier than Bridget Macron?
No,
Her theories on
Macron's
that?
the craziest shit.
Well, she's a cool dude to me.
But we're all over the place. Not only is he a cool dude, he's married to his son, which is the craziest thing ever. But back to Harvey Weinstein, it's like
That's fantastic.
You know, we've had Monica Perez on the show going, Bill Cosby isn't guilty. The only thing he's guilty of is having drugs.
And loving Jell-O pudding.
And and loving Jell-O pudding. So there is an argument to this, you know, like the whole thing with Chris D'Elia. If like you were at the Comedy Store in the early 2000s, you would see women would come dressed like they're going to the VMAs just to watch Chris D'Elia do stand-up. And then they would present themselves. Like, you remember, I don't know if you'll get this reference, but Bruce Lee's The Last Dragon. You remember that? Where they go to get the hookers, and the hookers all just present themselves like they're like show ponies?
Yeah.
That was, I'm not lying to you, every night, that's what would happen on the
Where
patio.
would they hang out? Would they try to get
They would go
backstage?
in to watch the show, and then they would come out because they knew he was going to be on the patio, and they would literally line up. And he'd be like, bang, bang, let's go.
Him and Matt Rife.
Yeah.
Matt Rife had the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah, he would go out
Oh, yeah,
just to
that makes
see,
sense.
just get what were the leftovers from him.
There's a culture war against like being a straight male that it's like oh, how could you not control yourself? It's like, I don't know, because like I'm fucking dude and like
And you're single. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, well, whether he was single or not, even then it's like, you know, when Arnold Schwarzenegger is like, oh my god, he cheated on his wife with the maid, and it's like, yeah, there's 12 bedrooms. I mean, what do we, you know, like, oh my, how could, what do you mean, how could? He was probably jerking off. She walked in. He's like, fuck it. You know, I mean, I don't know.
He's like, should I clean the sheets? Get in here.
I'm not defending the behavior, but it's it's like making it seem like it's criminal, which is like it's not.
Which is a great point. There's always been this belief that the Me Too movement was trying to basically guilt men into not cheating anymore. There's this kind of movement, and it's like it's weird because the question
it's a real thing. Those websites. Have you not seen the websites that like a lot of women are on now? Where so if you match with women or you meet women or whatever, there's like websites that they like go and like rate you, or like share you. Like every city has them.
What?
It's like Rate My Professor for dudes. Yeah.
But like every city has like a Facebook group of like Austin, like
is this your man? Is he cheating? That kind of
right.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like
That's gonna
the
make
most
you paranoid.
But it's also
a
like
dangerous time.
If it ever went the other way,
Chrissy's acting like she's not on there every night.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know this existed. So you can just leave reviews for people like a Yelp for a person.
Yeah, but it's also like, what if it went the other way? What if guys were like, "Oh, this chick puts out." Like, hey, dude,
they would go to jail.
Because, like you said before, are we winning the culture war? Feminism still has such a hold on the culture. It's like there's a garden, and maybe we're tearing or the dead plants are coming out a little bit, but we're not like fixing the soil, right? We're not making it we're not planting anything that's better. It's just sort of like a sad dead garden.
Well, I believe that women make the rules of society and men make the rules of business. And what DEI and political correctness is attempt to take the rules of society and apply it to business, and then those businesses fail horribly.
Yeah,
fail horribly.
That's a good way to describe it.
And that's why like a woman can get married to a guy for solely the purpose, or date a guy to get pregnant to make money. If there was an equal society, that would be illegal. If we had an equal society, we would have DNA tests at birth. It wouldn't even be, it would be
Just
done.
do it at the hospital.
In France, they're like, they outlawed. They're like, if we did this, it would destroy our culture. Because everyone's slinging pussy. And that's why the whole thing about this on Instagram and TikTok, where chicks are giving out their body count and acting like they've achieved something.
Because other women make them feel like that's something to hang their hat on.
Or they're trying not to feel bad about it. So they're trying to act like, oh, dude, I banged 350 guys. Like that's the
You know what
equivalent
it
of
is,
climbing
too?
Mount
It's,
Everest.
It's like defensive feminism. It's like, oh, no guy can really hurt me because look, I'm having sex for sport. You're just a number, buddy. You're not really like getting inside, like into my heart because it's just about like sex, the act.
But then
not
if you talk about
intimacy.
like Europeans, they probably have high body counts too, but the women don't. They're not as like. It's not like America where they're like, I fucked like 500
bragging.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's my whole thing.
Sorry, that was an impersonation of a white person.
Yeah, no, that sounded like a drunk white chick because that's how they get.
Well, drunk white chick is, I mean, American culture, it's a melting pot. So like the black culture, hip hop culture, country music, all of it's like blended into just a drunk white chick standing outside of a bar being filmed by a guy, and she's 21 and she's like, I fucked 300 guys, fuck my dad, I don't give a shit. And that's whereas in Europe they're like, I do not kiss and tell, but they've probably slept with like 1,000.
Right,
So it's
right.
like,
And
so
again,
I don't think body count matters. I think it's just, I mean, it does, like if you're trying to marry, but all these people, or maybe, but all these people are making money off of exposing whores, which is pretty fucking entertaining. You've seen those shows. I mean, they do eventually they transition into all Jews or rats, but they start
not all.
And you know what, Ben? This is a good point. Maybe this is part of the pendulum swinging back. Like where before in society have we had any kind of like public shaming of whores or public shaming of promiscuity? Like it's gotten so bad to a point like women are really, really bragging, but what's meeting it is the shame.
Well,
no.
it also gets into the fact that
they definitely
again,
get
Ben
shamed.
is right. Nobody cares if you're slinging pussy. There is some danger to it because again, if a guy gets somebody pregnant, gets a chick pregnant, and she has a kid, and it's not his kid. If that lie goes long enough, he's on the hook forever. Like
then you
Carl
become
LeBeau.
Bill Burr.
Yeah, Carl LeBeau and stuff like that. Oh yeah, dude, that story's crazy, and we'll get into Bill Burr, but it just becomes this whole thing where like there's no safeguarding for men, and it's like
the safeguarding is, it's boring, but it's it's realistic. It's like get married, have a family, and shut the fuck up, and you know what I mean.
But like in terms of like cultural protections, there's so many cultural like group protections for women. No matter what you do, no matter how bad your behavior is, no matter how fucking dumb you are. With men, it's kind of like it's every man for himself. You gotta like.
Yeah, but do you remember when girls shamed sluts? You remember when wives like back then? OnlyFans wouldn't have been available. You would have been a whore. What a whore. Right. Now you guys support each other. Oh, my friend has an OnlyFans. Look at her. He's killing it.
It's really feminism. Yeah. It's like it's created this fertile ground for all this like degeneracy to keep going.
They did a thing where a girl was a social influencer. It's one of those popping the balloon things, which is popular.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm a social influencer, and every guy just went pop, pop, pop.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's a dating show where everyone gets a balloon, and then you pop it if it's like there's a deal breaker said. I think it's called
Stupid.
It's literally called Pop the Balloon. I think it's like a black dating show.
Yeah, everything's
it's like
black
the
dating
opposite
shows.
of The Voice, basically. They push the button to if they're out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, do they push a button if they're I think they push a button if they're in.
No, I'm saying it's the opposite of that, though. Right?
Yeah.
The Voice.
This one's the pop
They
is
get
out.
their own balloon.
Yeah.
And they ask the guys, why'd you pop? Because you couldn't be with a girl as an OnlyFans, and this guy's like, I'm all about like body positive and being sex positive for women. You're like, dude, that's not positive. Listen again, what Ben said earlier. Nobody
like
cares if you're slinging pussy. It's just like we don't need to hear about it. Like
keep it to yourself.
Guys who like go in debt, like guys are like, hey, what's your debt? Like,
Right.
dog,
Right.
300,000, bang. Nobody. It's literally the equivalent of it. It's easy to go into debt. It's like just like it's easy to give out pussy. Our society is built on two things: money and pussy. That's it.
The problem is that you can't just be like a whore as like a side project now. It's like, oh, I'm a whore. I better make money off of it. Or like, you know what I mean? Or
you can't do it for the love
back
of the
in my
game.
day, we gave it away for free.
Why
Well,
can't
that is the argument.
because all you hear online is like guys complaining about like, oh, all these women, they're all OnlyFans, and then you go to the bar and like it's just all the dudes standing against the wall, not hitting on chicks, being like, oh, I don't know, I couldn't get laid again,
Like a middle school
So it's
dance.
like, what do we? It's this. It's really just division and fear, and the girls are scared and alone too, and that's part of the. Then one of the friends
you're right,
goes,
Ben.
"Oh, I show my pussy online, I make X amount," and then so it becomes
$5.
And why would a man make the
That's
risk
their
of getting
outlet.
rejected in person by a woman when they can just, you know what, like I'll just nut when I get home. Why would I embarrass myself in front of a woman at a bar?
Well, that's a
and take
big part of the
risk?
Me Too movement has scared guys in because, these stories become like, oh, he hit on me. That's sexual assault. And you're like, no, dude, we like the way the game is, guys have to hit on everything to hope we can get one bite.
Because
That's just how it
women are not doing the hitting on. It's just not, that's come naturally to a lot of us.
Well, they are. I mean, the thing is that like we're all like all the guys in this group discussion are kind of ugly. And
Yeah, that's the most true
you're
shit
good.
ever said.
I'm just saying,
Dude, the only XG should be upset. He should be upset.
It's the lighting.
joking.
He's got
You're
bad
beautiful.
knees,
The
but he's
lighting.
not bad looking. Johnny's good looking too.
yeah.
I'm
You're all
old.
good
I'll take
looking.
it. I'll
Stop
take it.
it.
I'm just saying, like, I've had friends
We're
who are like
genres. We're all genres.
6'4" or like 6'5", and they're like in shape and they're just good looking, and it's like they're literally just walking around and getting hit on all day long at every single location they go to. So a lot of it is that I think the math is something like 80% or
Yep.
90%. 90% of women are fucking the top 10% of dudes, right? Yeah. So, or whatever it is. So that's people, the movie
Unless you do
stars,
comedy.
the rich people, the tall people, the athletes. If they were part of this discussion, they'd be like, "You guys are fucking faggots." To be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't.
it is-
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think they're like the cycle of just life, just over the years, just keeps going through. And I guarantee you, there was a time where women were slinging pussy, and everyone's like, and then they were only fucking the top 10%. And everyone's like, society's like, nope. And that's when arranged marriages came. And they're like, you're dating that guy who has all the goats. He owns all the goats. If we don't have goats, we got nothing. You're banging the guy with the goats. And then it became this whole thing. It's like, this is the best decision for you. But now I really do think that there's kind of this like, this belief that it all ends badly anyways. Like everyone just is always like, I'm gonna get divorced anyways. I'm gonna be single mom anyways. I'm gonna get all my money taken away from my wife when she divorced me anyways. It's like this whole doom and gloom thing that people just don't even want to get into it. And like guys, it's like, where do guys function now? Like guys are defined by their paycheck, whether people like it or not. They're defined by their paycheck.
No, there's this whole
It's
generation.
always been that, Johnny. It's always been that.
There's this whole generation of guys, though, maybe a few generations, that got their women by grinding them down slowly, by seeing them every day at work and like hitting on them a little, telling a joke, getting to know their sense of humor. Dude, that was my whole thing in high school. I wouldn't have dated anybody.
You were the grinder, right?
Yeah, dude. And they
best friend.
He's kind of funny.
Yeah, the best friend.
Yeah, Johnny, when
Not
the gay
best- no,
app
that-
came
you can't
out,
get friend zone. No,
Johnny,
that's
when
not
the
it.
gay app came out, did you tell them they can't call you the grinder anymore?
Do you know what I mean? Though, and you can't do that at all now. I mean, when it's all swipe right and it's just based on aesthetics
you don't
purely.
have time to put your sense of humor on them.
That's right. Yeah.
It's the extracurriculars. People don't do extracurriculars anymore. They do their extracurriculars at home.
Yep.
Whereas, comedy is an outlet. If you're young, like when I was 20 or whatever, doing comedy, and you're at a bar, you're doing something cooler than just being at the bar. You're doing a set, and you're working towards something. You have a dream that's, I think, attractive to people. So when you're young and as a guy doing comedy, it kind of, you have an outlet to meet people and meet women. That if you're just working a 9 to 5 and then you go home and fucking watch Netflix, or you don't have a good friend group, even if you are going to a bar and trying to meet chicks, it's going to be harder than if you did something like nerdy and stupid, like some stupid fucking, I don't know, some Pokemon club or something. You probably get more pussy. You probably get more pussy trying to, find a Pikachu in a deck of cards and just going to a bar, because there has to be some, for people to actually get along as opposed to just banging random people.
Yeah.
There has to be something.
For
Golf.
male comics, it's like what Sam was saying with Crystalia. Like women will line up for male comics. There's a type of I don't even want to call them like comedy groupies. Like women love
Chuckle
funny
fuckers.
Women love funny men. So it's not like a male comic has to go and like chat people up. It's like you've already charmed the whole audience for an hour. Now you just have to wait for like the women who liked how that sound to come to you, and it's a good perk.
Hey guys, the economy is all over the place. Tariffs, everything like that. Who knows what's going to happen to our money? That's why you got to get into precious metals, and there's no better place to go than Wise Wolf Gold and Silver. Let me tell you about Wise Wolf Gold and Silver. If you're paying attention, you know the de-dollarization is real. Fiat is fake, and you don't want to be left holding the bag when the dollar collapses. Gold and silver have been money through all of recorded history and are an excellent way to protect yourself from inflation and geopolitical turmoil. That's why I trust my friends at Wise Wolf Gold and Silver for all precious metals, all things precious metals. I love it. I am part of the Wolf Pack. Every month I have precious metals sent right to my house, and I love it. See, Wise Wolf Gold and Silver is veteran owned and A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. No transaction is too big or too small. You can even roll over your 401k or IRA into physical gold and silver. And if you think you can't afford precious metals, think again. With the Wolfpack monthly membership program, you can get gold and silver delivered directly to your door for as little as $50 a month. As little as $50 a month, you can have precious metals. You start loading it up, man. By the end of the year, you'll have a good chunk of precious metals. Dude, it's crazy. You just go to samtripoli.gold. You can see all the different plans they have. Man, it's like $50. Lone Wolf, Warrior Wolf, $125. Alpha Wolf is $250. And it just keeps going up. Sent to your house. Right there. It's that simple. It's that simple. Easy peasy. Get in, get out, get your gold, get your silver. I love it. I'm doing it. Dude, I'm telling you, all of these affiliates I use, and I use Wise Wolf Gold and Silver. I use it all the time. It's real simple. So if you want to get in, this is how you do it. Wise Wolf Gold and Silver also deals in and accepts Bitcoin. So here's what I need you to do, okay? Go to samtripoli.gold, promo code tinfoil at checkout to receive free constitutional silver. That's right. And remember, in a world of bulls and bears, be the wolf.
Something that you mentioned about the arranged marriages or whatever, but today, like nowadays, our version of arranged marriages in America or the West would be how rich people train their kids to do cool shit. So if you're rich, you want your daughter to play golf, to play tennis, to play, be
an equestrian, like do rich people shit to meet the kind of person you want her to be with.
Right. Or like you play euchre, or there's some card game, bridge, or whatever it is, so that then it's like you're actually going to meet somebody and have those activities, because it's like those extracurricular activities that really make people want to stay together. I think it's not just like, oh yeah, we cook and clean together and we fuck. I think it's you want somebody to do those things.
Yeah
But here's the problem: is this isn't just an American culture thing. You go almost everywhere, the birth rate is plummeting everywhere,
except for the Sudan.
Yeah, except for the Sudan. You want to get that action, you got to go to Sudan. Right?
Get them Congo bitches.
My dad's friend actually did that. He went to Africa and did some crazy shit. Like you can, if you
got AIDS,
if you're white, he probably has AIDS. But no, if you're white, you can basically go to Africa and you're kind of untouchable. Like they might kidnap you, but if you're old, if you're in your 50s, they probably won't, because they're like, nobody's coming for this motherfucker.
That's like prison.
Wow.
Nobody fucks with you in prison. If you're going to go to prison when you're 50. Nobody's gonna rape your ass. Nobody's raping the
Right. You
50-year-old
don't
man.
have a good butthole. It's
Yeah, they're
been
like,
used
oh, look
up.
at that flat old man. Look at that flat ass old man. I'm gonna get that. No, dude, you're good. Leave me alone.
You're really banking on that.
Yeah, dude, that's my hopes, bro. But I'm sure if you go to, I mean, Latin America is getting weird because people go down there and now they're getting like drugged and killed.
Damn.
I heard about that.
My friends actually almost got drugged there. They had to they went and they picked up 2 chicks in Colombia, went back to their condo or whatever, their Airbnb type situation, and then the girls like pulled out some like weird vial of like some fucking liquid and like were pouring it on their tits and they're like leak it off and all this shit.
Whoa.
And they were like no, get out, and like had to kick them out, and they were like mad. And like I think they broke some stuff, but so yeah, people think it's like, oh, I don't get any action in the first world, I'm going to go to the third world. It's like now you're getting drugged and killed, and
It's no worse than what Cardi
Lady
B.
boys.
I mean, didn't they make a whole? Wasn't that her?
She
That
glamorized it.
Yeah, and then after there, all this stories just started coming out of strippers and hookers robbing people.
They made that great movie about it with who's in it?
Hustlers.
Yeah, Hustlers. Right, it's a great film. It's just
Glorifies that.
glorifying.
Well, it's like Gone Girl. You could not do that movie the other way around.
No, yeah.
You could not do a movie where a guy fucking makes up a story and's trying to put a girl on death row and everyone be okay with it. It just would never happen.
comedy maybe, but not.
I mean,
not
it
a drama.
is kind of, yeah. I mean, the fact that obvious people are like, oh my God, people are getting hookers and strippers and getting robbed. What is society come to?
Yeah, well, there used to be
That's
like,
happening.
well, I mean, drug dealers and hookers are the worst business people. There's no other business where you rob your customer. Oh, well, I mean, like legally, it's really crazy to me, dude. It's like, yeah, I mean, like a drug dealer, you're gonna give your clients fentanyl? You're like,
Well, that's why it's better.
called a
if
sample.
It's legal. If it's legal, then there's some regulation, right?
no, but there doesn't seem to be regulation. It's like if you look at like Oregon, they're like, we're legalizing all drugs, and then there's something about drugs that you need to have a little bit of a adventure to get it that stops a lot of people from doing it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to go through the process to get drugs and the possibility of being arrested and going to jail.
You have to really want it.
And you have to really want it. You have to really want it, which
to have
makes
a day
it
set aside.
right. And then you have to have a place to do it. You got to have a place to do the drugs. When you open it up, it just chaos breaks out, and people probably normally wouldn't do it, end up doing it. They're doing the Philly Hello, which is this.
Oh, the sloped over.
the Philly Hello. Right
Yeah.
there, you know?
Yeah. Nodding off. Just
Yeah,
in public.
yeah,
What is
yeah.
it, Kensington? That neighborhood in Philly where it's like the open
which
air
looks like a
drug
war
market.
zone of
Yeah.
zombies.
Yeah, it's so sad.
But then, what about Trump saying how you have to give him the life sentence for a drug dealer?
No, that's not.
Tweet up. Who said that? I heard.
No,
he
I'm
ain't
saying that's
saying
not.
that.
I'm saying that's not the answer.
Yeah,
No, it's not the
that's-
answer.
Because
yeah.
they'll just find another drug dealer.
Especially when the people bringing in the drugs are the government, the U.S. government.
Yeah.
They get busted over and over again. So it's like, I got in an argument with, who's the guy who does immersion? What's his name? Immersion.
Jesse Lee
Jesse Lee
Peterson.
Peterson.
I love him.
I love Jesse Lee, but
Amazing.
he can't come to grips with that crack laws were racist because he's like, well, they didn't have to do it. Yeah, I get that.
He's black, Sam. He gets to say what's racist. You don't. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay. But it's like when the people who are bringing in the drugs are also the people punishing you for doing the drugs.
It's crazy, yeah.
And then they make a special rule where this much of crack is the equivalent of a helicopter of cocaine, even though they're the same drug, just different demographics. That gets into racism. And I'm not normally like, wow, but it's like it was done on purpose because that's always what they do. They did to the natives, they did to the blacks, and now they're doing it to white people with heroin and fentanyl. They're just
And vaccines.
yeah, the vaccine shit's crazy. It's just nuts. But the biggest problem is algorithms. Like nobody's hearing that stuff. There's a guy who like fucking went off on me. He's like, dude, I can't believe you keep putting this stuff out about vaccines, especially when there's a giant measles breakout. So all I do is DM this guy every story about how vaccines killing everybody. He's like, stop sending me this. I'm like, I'm doing it for you. Your algorithm is shit. And it's
That's like I'm quitting. Yeah, I'm addicted to my phone. So the only way to get off of my phone was to start doing heroin.
But yeah, it's just it gets into like that. Did you see Jimmy Dore put out a thing about how the Brady Bunch did an episode on measles?
No.
What was it?
It was just so funny. They're like, measles are the best. We get off from school, it's the best ever. And it like,
Oh, really? Just treating it like chicken pox? Like
yeah,
no big
it's
deal?
basically well, it was chicken pox. Basically, at one point, you got chicken pox, and you wanted to get it, and they always said, especially if you're a girl, you want to get chicken pox early
Why?
because it had something to do with like.
Made
I
your
think it's
boobs
worse.
bigger?
It's worse if you're older. Is it like?
Yeah,
because that's what I say about chicken pox. It's like shingles, right? If you're
Yeah.
older. Yeah.
Well, that's all monkeypox is shingles. But if you like, hey, dude, if you tell everybody you got monkeypox, you're telling us you take it in the ass because it's just shingles. That's all you're
It's
doing.
ass shingles.
It's ass shingles.
Why don't they call it that?
If you're getting these diseases, like you're just leaving your house too much. I think.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going? Like, I got measles. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Rolling on the ground of a Walmart? Like, what are you? How are you getting something like that? Like,
Yeah.
that's where it's like maybe phone addictions are good because you just kind of sit at home on your phone and you're not exposing yourself to all kinds of.
Can we talk
bullshit.
about how great, Ben, the videos are that you do, the voiceovers of like the various, like what was it, the Toronto mayor with the snow? I laughed my fucking balls off. I
love
watched
that
that
video.
like 50 times in a row.
Can you find it?
there's
You go
so
to
much
his,
snow. I love those. Don't ever stop doing those videos, Ben. It's
But that's why you're
so
great, Ben, because you
funny.
don't give a shit.
Oh, it's so funny.
You really don't
appreciate
give a
that.
shit.
I mean, sometimes I'm making those being like, I'm in vain making them like, I don't know if I should be, and then I just do it.
It's so funny. The people making the snow, the Italians, hiring Italians, they have job for life.
But it's so funny because you could look at Ben doing that and called racism, and Ali Wong, who I love, she just sold a TV show and won an Emmy for doing a show about how two Asians can't drive. That's literally the whole premise of her TV show that she won an Emmy on is Asians can't drive. She literally pitched that. Two
I don't
Asians
think
can't
any
drive.
of I think the only thing that's like, I think actual racism is literally just like segregation and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't think like making jokes or whatever is like actually
No.
is racism at all. I think that
Oh, God.
racism's like, hey, oh yeah, no, you're not allowed in here because of your skin color. That's racist. But if you're like, yeah, you're allowed in, but we're
Is it
gonna
that
say
one
some
right
shit.
there? Is that it?
There's one where she's outside in the snow.
It's
Could it be on
further
Twitter?
down.
I would maybe check Twitter.
It's further down. It's
Oh, there it is.
Yes, yes.
that one
It's
here. Can we see it?
good.
So you look over there, there's a road of snow on the ground. That's no good. No good. Oh, I am paying lots of Portuguese and Italian people to remove the snow, and that's a full-time job for the whole ride. Look at that, the snow all over falling down from the sky. I need to get some of the Indian people who are previously doing the Uber Eats to maybe shovel the snow. Maybe they will pour the curry powder, the turmeric powder on the snow and make it disappear like a sand from a sandcastle. So we're going to do everything we can to make sure the snow removal. This is Toronto. This is city Toronto. This is where all the Chinese people in the world, they want to come here. The rich Chinese, they want to be here so that they can have their children go to school. They can walk to school without all the snow. So you
It's so funny when he like runs out of breath but still finishes the sentence. Oh my
Dude,
god.
she's
That
like-
can cure depression.
It's all thanks to her because
Holy shit.
I don't know, like she's actually making all those crazy faces and doing all
Is that how
crazy,
she
like,
really sounds?
she's acting like Hitler all the time.
Oh my god.
Like she wanted to tax water or rain or something like that?
I mean, right now, what I was going to do a video of today is like she's taking away people's ability to get incentives for green vehicles for Tesla specifically, and they're taking down all the American flags in the city that are on like city property or whatever, and all this like crazy shit. So like everybody I typically make fun of like that is like legitimately insane to the point
And they
where
deserve it.
she's like the first Asian woman that I made fun of was Canada's Dr. Fauci during the pandemic. Her name is Theresa Tam, and I did the same thing with her, but it was a different voice. It was slightly different character. Some talk like this, some talk like that. She was brutal. Like she was like legitimately like what she was. Everything I was making fun of her, she was actually saying. It's like, don't go outside. She was doing that. They were trying to bring in this. Do you remember when they did the anal swab in China?
Oh my
no
God.
more, not up your nose. When you test your asshole, like, and that was a real thing that they were talking about bringing here and shit. And she was Chinese as fuck.
That's how you get ass shingles.
But it's like, what, okay, the virus is from China, and the woman trying to save us from the virus is from China. Like, and if you mention it, you're racist. That's where I think it gets,
Yep.
that's when it gets really crazy. When it's like people in positions of power, like right now, the new Prime Minister of Canada's
Oh my God.
came out
Carney.
that their daughter is transgender, like heavily, like went to clinics, did all the hormones,
Wow.
did surgeries. And people are like, leave his kids alone. It's like, this is a 20-something-year-old adult.
Yeah, that's an
like
adult.
It's an adult kid. And number one, and number two, that's what they do. They just go, well, they're Asian, so you can't talk about it. Well, they have a trans kid, so you can't mention it. It'll hurt their feelings. What do you mean? They're in a fucking position of power. They dictate how much the taxes are.
You're so
I can't
right,
fucking make
dude.
fun of them for any reason. Any reason I should be able to make fun of them. And having a trans kid is, it's sorry, but it's fucking like it's weird.
I hope the trans
Like,
kid is Asian, so you'll do a video about them.
It looks like a retarded version of Greta Thunberg, basically.
Oh, so even more retarded.
Jeez, yeah.
But
that's what I was like, wow.
it's this whole thing is like, don't hurt my feelings, but here's a huge opportunity to do it. Like,
Yeah, it makes you crazy. Makes you feel like stifled, like you have to ignore your.
So it's a girl that's acting like a boy.
Boy.
yeah.
Oh, okay, that's so
It's
weird.
an Elliot Pager.
An Elliot Pager.
Looks just like Justin Bieber.
That's just a lesbian. Like so
like Ry- it's like
weird.
a
But
young Ryan
the thing is,
Seacrest.
if you're not allowed to make fun of it, that means there's something wrong
You're
with it. That it's
phobic.
like
No, you're
it's
totally
like,
right. You're
You're
totally
basically
right.
saying, no, don't make fun of them. They couldn't control it. They're retarded, which that person does look retarded. I'm not going to lie.
No, you're totally right.
It takes away the equality. Like, oh, we can't talk about them, can't acknowledge
But
them,
you
can't
can
look at
tee
them.
off on rednecks, right? You
That's
can
a-
tee off on
White
rednecks.
people.
You can tee off on white people.
That's a rising
my whole
down.
thing, dude. It's like it's just like
They're just mad at rednecks because they have homes.
I went to Yale University.
Yeah, I mean, you went to Yale. You can get made fun of, and like that looks like, dude. Does that look like some fucking like a picture of somebody who was involved with the Kennedy assassination? Isn't that like the haircut
I mean,
and the style?
what
it's
all
like-
are they
it's
doing?
like
Like,
how- That's an old school transgender surgery. They just took a shovel to her face.
so like, Dashida has no boobs. Like, what's going on? Like, what is the skin in the game here? Is it just a short haircut?
Yeah, you should have to show your chest if you want to. But that should be the table stakes for.
But I love that
trans.
she looks like hey, I'm gonna be a trans and I'm gonna look like
Ugly.
the most Christian nationalist I could look like, right?
she looks more like her dad than Trudeau looked like his dad.
That's such
Like, get a beard.
No, that's commitment though. You're changing genders and you look ugly as the other gender. That's real commitment. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? If you
But
look
it's
worse-
always the most extreme version, right? Like with the trans people.
Well,
Like-
I had when I was living in Toronto in early 2024, and there was like this woman crossing the street, and she recognized me because I was in a newspaper article. I was running for mayor, and I dressed up in a pride suit, and she was like, "I thought you were actually pro LGBT. I was sad to find out that it was all a joke or whatever." And then she starts telling me that she has 3 kids and they're all gay.
What?
And I was just honest with her. I was with my baby daughter and my dogs, and I just looked at her. I was like, "You realize that's your fault, right?" And she was so offended. She's like, "How dare you?" I'm like, "Well, first of all, why are you offended?"
Right.
Because you're proud that they're gay. And number 2, that means that I'm right, and you played a part in making them gay. I was
Yep.
like, "You made
Encouraged
your kids
it.
gay." And I was like, do you not care that you're never going to be a grandparent? Like, and she was just
sad.
like so fucking rattled up. But I was pissed. It was,
Well,
I'll
it's
fucking
also
talk to a
that
stranger,
like this notion that like so there's this video of this Christian guy. These guys like to show up on campuses or like wherever there's a bunch of progressives, and they're like Jesus saves, and then they just which is swatting the hornet's nest in these areas, and this trans, I don't even know if he's just gay, super feminine guy with big earrings. And of course, he's like, you can't be racist against white people. I'm like, how convenient is that for you? How lucky are you that the one group you hate with all your passion because you hate your father because he didn't hug you enough is the one group you're allowed to go off on without any social penalty at all? It's like, it's so hilarious how they don't understand how they're getting manipulated at every fucking level. And it's like they just do this mental gymnastics and they just do it. And it gets to this whole thing where it's like, I'm over saving it. I'm not, it's been a while since I'm not trying to save anybody. I love doing these shows because I get to talk to interesting people and I get to learn what the lizard people are up to, and then I don't fall for their psyops. But outside of that, I can't save anybody. And it's just like, they just keep, it's like, if you have prey, right? Let's say you have a bunch of pigs or whatever it is, and you have a pen, and the pigs are in a big open pen. And then slowly but surely, that pen gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Guess what the pigs do? Nothing. They just conform to the pen. And that's humanity. That's Americans right now. They just conform to whatever the pen is, no matter how uncomfortable it is. They don't care.
Yeah, COVID really showed us that. It was very disappointing.
You're just gonna and like if it's a straight line, pigs are just gonna sit in that straight line. They don't fucking care.
It's like Fortnite.
Is it Fortnite?
Oh, the circle keeps getting smaller and smaller.
Oh yeah. Exactly. And nobody cares. And that's why you got to get out of the fucking big cities because they're just full of these. I hate the term NPC, but it really works. They're just fucking
some people are,
retards.
it's like being like 500 pounds and being like, why can't I have fun?
You're totally right.
Your knees hurt.
Because you can't get out. You need a forklift to leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I cut my dick off and I, put tits on and, why can't I meet a boyfriend? It's like, because you're.
Yeah. Why am I
you're
not
insane.
happy? I'm taking the wrong hormones for my body.
But it also gets into like this kind of thing where like law enforcement or the government has their like thumb on the competitive balance between everything, right? So like if you say something to a trans, there's places you can get arrested for that. But if a trans says something to you, nothing happens.
Why can't we try this? Why can't we try like gender affirming, but in the other way? Like if someone's like a chick, like, oh, I don't feel particularly female, I don't know, I feel like a tomboy, or I don't know, like, why don't we just be like, I'm not saying like give a young girl implants, but like, I don't know, let's go shopping, let's do shit that's gonna make her feel more like female in the way that works for her. Same thing with dudes. Like if a dude's like, I'm not particularly masculine, I don't know, like, let's fucking get you a new haircut, let's get you some new, like, gender affirm your actual gender.
Here's what we do. We give gay guys Blue Chew and they have to hit a vagina one time. They just have to hit it and then see how they feel.
Just to make sure.
Just, hey, dude, feel
Don't knock
this.
it till you try it.
Feel it. Don't knock it. I know you like butt, but you have your felt vagina before. And then see what they have to say. And then you go for that.
How bad could it be?
How bad can it be?
Who's the lady? Is the lady maybe a woman that's going the other way?
Short-haired
A woman who wants to be a hero.
Yeah, you get both
Yeah.
over here. You get both.
Very
There are
rarely.
women
And
with
she
egos.
can brag about that in public. How many gays have you turned?
Yeah.
300.
That sounds like a job
Now that's
for
a body count worth
that-
bragging
yeah,
about.
there
Lily
we go.
Phillips
That's it.
and Bonnie Blue. They could be in charge of that.
Yeah, 100%. There's some
How
porn
often
stars.
do you even see a trans person though? Like,
Well, we're
let's
in
be
LA,
honest,
so
like,
Yeah. And do
every
we-
day.
Yeah,
My
we
buddy
don't
was
really
in
know that.
Seattle.
Every
He
day?
said they're
Yeah,
everywhere.
I just saw two brightly colored lesbians on my flight over here, but that was it. One of the lesbians.
Were they wearing masks?
No, but yes, they were wearing masks. And
Of course they
one
were.
of them had a shirt that says, everyone watches female sports or something like that. And I was like, what? That's just wrong. Like, where'd you
Yeah,
get
I
that
would have
shirt?
said, yeah, it's called pornography.
Yeah, waters.
That is the number one female sport on the planet is porn.
It's very athletic.
I mean, look at what the girls are making on, which I think is a giant lie, by the way.
Got pro, and what's OnlyFans? D1?
Well, the one on OnlyFans where she's like, I'm making $400,000. I'm making what was it, $50 million, $80 million a year. It's like, no, you're money laundering. They're just sending you that money and you're moving it on to other people.
Who do pretty well on it.
I'm not saying nobody makes money. I'm just saying when you see somebody, some chick who looks like every girl in Miami being like, I made $80 million. You're like, it's money laundering. You're just taking the money and they're just moving it to somewhere else and you get your cut and you get to live a good life. That's all it is. It's
You really believe that, huh?
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, if anybody wants to launder money through me, I'm down, bro. Let's do it.
Johnny, I would love to see how much you can make on OnlyFans in a year.
I'd wear a mask and just jerk off on the camera. And if they want to launder some money, I'd be like the most popular.
But they have to know it's you, though. That's the deal.
A COVID mask?
Johnny Woodard's COVID mask. You wear a Pussy Riot a fucking
sure,
mask?
Whatever, dude. Millions? You kidding? Yeah, obviously.
All right, I'm in.
I'm in.
Do it. Do it.
But not with your face out?
Yeah, I mean, it's just more psyops to get
In case
people
I
to
want
be
to run for
whores.
office. You know.
Everything is like that. Everything is like, what is it? White Lotus has incest in it.
Oh, it's weird, dude. Yeah, it's creeping me out.
All at Pornhub.
Yeah, I did a show. Where it was like I was doing crowd work, and I was asking these people like, there was this good-looking redheaded guy. I'm like, dude, you're the best-looking redhead I've ever seen in my life. And I asked his girlfriend, does he got a nice dick? What's a redheaded dick looks like? They're like, that's his mom. I'm like, you're his mom. Well, stepmom. I'm like, I should have been like, well, Pornhub accordingly.
Same question. What does a redheaded dick look like?
Yeah, 100%. Well, if it's free, you are the. That's a big part of porn. It's like, why is it free? Well, because you're the product, or they're data mining whatever weird shit you're into.
By the way, Ginger's totally free, open range on those guys. You can just make fun of Ginger. Why is that not a protected category?
Guys?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're
weird,
white
right?
people.
How does that work,
women
though?
are treated, women are treated like queens. Everyone loves a redhead.
It's weird,
chick.
though, right?
Guys are all freaks.
Physically distinct. The skin is different. They have freckles, kind of,
Conan O'Brien, and
See-through.
that's it. And the guy who played a terrorist on Homeland. Those are
Prince
the only.
Harry.
Prince Harry.
No.
No, he's garbage.
He's see-through.
And then the Meghan Markle shit, like with her TV show.
She's horrible.
And like, is she just unself-aware?
Yes.
She's like, I used to be on a fucking game show, and everyone says I used to be an escort. Now I'm a fucking princess. It's such a weird thing. Like, and it's all done on purpose on who they blow up.
It's like elite level gold digging.
Yeah, I mean, Melania Trump is the greatest gold digger of all time. There's no bigger. She is the Michael Jordan of gold diggers.
Yeah. It's like a life digger.
Did we talk the JFK thing before this, or was that on the show?
Have we talked?
No,
to
it
On this
was
show.
before we were
Was it-
recording.
Yeah, I would
What's
like.
the
You want to
verdict
talk about
on
that a
the
bit?
JFK?
I think we should play more of Ben's Asian videos.
Yeah, I'm content to just watch those.
I should do Olivia Chow talking about JFK. The Israel was.
God, that's fun.
It's weird.
It's so fun.
When did you start doing that, Ben? Like, how did you get so good at it?
I played violin as a kid.
Really? Oh, yeah, because you're around a lot of Asians.
Yeah, I grew up. I went to a really Asian high school as well
That's awesome.
in Toronto. It's called Harvard Collegiate, and just super Chinese.
Oh, so that's where you get all the Chinese people put their kids in that school.
Yeah, we had like that. Yeah, kids like running to the convenience store. The convenience store was so Chinese. They had like a buffet of like spring rolls and shit.
rolls.
And so like there would be like fat Chinese kids like running to get a spring roll.
In between
Pretty
class?
funny. Right before the lunch bell would go, like certain Chinese kids in their Chinese class would like ask the teacher in Chinese, like, and then the teacher would be like, okay, go. And then they'd just be running to get a spring
I love
roll.
that.
Right.
Would you go with them? Did you have Chinese friends?
I had a few, yeah. That's when you're like, oh shit, the buffets or the Chinese food's out, because you'd see like random Chinese kids running. That's why they're like Chinese. They just run for shit. They're like,
They're goal
I don't
oriented.
know. They had beef bars and shit like that, like beef ball.
Beef
all
bars.
kinds fishbowl. It was very, very Asian, and we were all very racist towards them. So it was very,
It was a simpler time.
there was no like getting in trouble for like being like, but there was like a couple gangster Asian kids. I remember this one kid. He was from China. He actually ended up getting deported for selling weed.
Oh my God! Imagine getting deported for selling weed.
He was, it was like before it was legal, and so he would just have like, baggy, like the baggiest possible clothes, like Mecca jeans, that kind of vibe,
Wow.
like backwards fitted, like hat, and he'd just come by to all the grade, like the freshmen, and be like, "Oh, you want to pray dice? You want to pray dice?" And he's like,
So he was like a
like-
Uyghur.
yeah, he was like a Uyghur wigger. No, chigger. That's what it was.
Those are like worms in the sand.
Yeah, so there was a bit of that, and then there was like just kids who just straight up didn't speak English at all, and they just like smelled bad.
I got chiggers once. The
Chiggers.
worst.
Oh, yeah, they're
thing.
flies.
Oh,
Never
dude.
mind.
No, I think they are like little
Sand-
like roll. I was rolling in
sandworms?
leaves one time as a kid, yeah, and just it's a nightmare.
But it kind of helped all the other races get along, you know what I mean? So it was like the Asians, and then all the other races were just like, yo, there's so many fucking Asians here. Holy shit.
What up with Canadian blacks?
Yeah, you don't hear about them too much.
Well, Drake, it's like
we
it's
put him
gotta
in
be.
jail early.
But I remember I grew up in upstate New York, which New Yorkers consider Canada, right? It's like just outside Syracuse, and
Yeah.
you know we had a black family in my town we grew up with, the Handys, and they gorgeous daughters. And
Handy daughters. Their names are Handy.
the last
and
thing
they're
they
all
were
daughters.
Handys, and they
Oh,
well
boy.
no, there was a bunch of there was a boys, and then there was two daughters, and the youngest daughter was
Did
gorgeous.
they give handies?
And I wish she was so hot. But it was so funny because they learned black culture from basically watching TV, MTV. That's how they learned, because there was no black people around for them to learn from. So, like, where does blacks in Canada learn their culture? Like Drake?
Vince Carter. Really, I mean,
Yeah, that was it. That was it. Eric Carter.
We had Vince Carter. We had what was the
Tracy
other?
McGrady.
Yeah, the junkyard dog. Is that Tracy McGrady? I think it was.
No, was that Junkyard Dog?
JYD. But I mean, look, Canada and America are fucking connected. So every Canadians basically know everything Americans know plus
Jerome Williams.
Canadian shit. So it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like if you're a black kid growing up in Toronto, there's the Scarborough is kind of like one of the black areas, like Weston Road stuff. You know that it's similar. It's just that they're more immigrant blacks. Like their families are more immigrant, like from Africa or like the Caribbean, whereas Americans, like they were brought here by Jews in the 1600s or whatever the fuck.
Jew boats. Jew boat. No, I think most of the blacks were here through the Moors in Florida, but that's a whole different episode.
The
but, like-
more you know.
But it was more they've been here for a while, and they've also were part of, like, they were just more part of the country, whereas most of the black people I think in Canada are immigrants, unless I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that either their parents, like, newer within the last 100 years as opposed to 400 or whatever.
You don't see a lot of actual Africans using the M word, by the way. Have you noticed that? You don't ever hear them. It's really much an African.
Yeah, because it's a giant psyop ran on black people, and they don't get it. And it's so funny how they defend it at all costs to the point of violence. It was, and like, by the way, if you're a black person and you do something wrong and it involves a white person, all you have to say is he called me the M word, and everyone's like, "Oh, we're so sorry."
Right.
Well, you should have.
Yeah.
There was a story of this giant black high school kid who was playing basketball, and this white kid got a rebound over him, and the black kid just clocked him, knocked him cold. And he's like, he called me the M word twice. I go, I don't believe it. I don't believe it, because they would stop the game right there, and everyone would lecture this kid about, and then he would never be allowed to show his face again ever in college basketball.
Shouldn't have
and
said
high
twice.
school.
The boy who cried in.
Once okay,
Yeah,
twice
he shouldn't
enough.
He shouldn't have said twice. That was
They don't like if white people call them the N word, because then it reminds them of when they used to work.
Damn.
Ben. Quick two last things, and we'll let you guys go. Harry Sessions, Harry Sissy, he's getting Me Too'd right now.
Harry Sisson. Yeah.
And it kind of goes back. I wish I would have brought it up earlier, but
Basically made him more likable.
yeah, like everyone's like, he's gay. It's like, no, he's asking for nudes from chicks. And of course, these women are just.
Is that the thing? Is that the accusation?
Yeah, he asked for nudes. And by the way, every guy asked for nudes.
I was about to say,
and every girl has nudes. And women treat nudes like currency. It's literally currency. Yeah. Hey, I'll exchange this goods for you. I'll send you nudes. You fly me out. You buy me dinner. You do whatever it is we're discussing. Like the notion that there's some kind of sex predator.
Pretend to be interested in me, for a couple hours, and I'll send you nudes.
It's a good lesson for the left-wing guys who think that if they jump on board with all the Black Lives Matter and woke
feminist shit,
they're going to get pussy. It's like, yeah, you're going to get pussy, and then you're going to get immediately Me Too'd because all those women that are going to give you pussy for that are out of their fucking minds.
They're crazy people. And the Me Too people are nuts. And it doesn't matter how many stories come out where the woman lied. A new story comes, they just run right to it. With, oh my God, support you, girlfriend, queen. Support, when Norm Macdonald died, it's the famous story. This female comic came out, like an open micer, was like, he sexually harassed me. And every blue check retard, even some of my favorite comics, female comics, came out like, oh my God, you're so brave for coming out. I go, there's nothing brave.
I wish I could be molested by Norm. He's a legend.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it was a blessing.
It's like
he didn't molest you.
Lucky.
Your pussy molested him. That's how it should be seen. But it's like, yeah, it just comes out, and it's so odd, especially
there's so many people who do comedy and want it to be like working at Wells Fargo, and they're like, "Where's the HR? That's not what we're here for." And even Joey Diaz was talking about that. It's like, I didn't exactly get into comedy to be a fucking Mother Teresa. It's like
I don't understand. Okay, this is The Hill reporting this. This is a headline in an actual news outlet. Influencer Harry Sisson exposed ? Women accuse him of lying, having female roster in quotes. Lying and having a list of
like
women.
Like he's Andrew Tate?
Like, what are we talking? No,
well,
like he just has a list of women, a black book, basically.
Wow. The liberal women want you to be a traditional man, but also believe all their bullshit, but also only be interested in one woman, but also the females don't want to give any commitment. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, it's the feminist ideology. It's like you can't do both.
Half those females have a roster too, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I know a female comic.
Any Instagram DMs, like there you go.
I know a female comic who told me she bangs 3 guys a day, like all the time.
Breakfast. We call them breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yep, all the time. And the thing is that they just don't talk about it, but now they brag about it, right? But it's kind of crazy. But again, it gets
like,
back
I never
to
get any opportunities.
Yep. It also gets to the fact that, like, when you hear a woman, especially an attractive woman, go, I can't meet her, and go, okay, what you're telling us is you can't meet a supermodel that will only fuck you. That's all. That's what you want.
That was Charlize Theron complaining about, no, guys, just nobody talks to me. Guys don't come up to me and talk to me.
Yeah, everybody. And by the way, because they don't want their kids to be trans. You have like 4 of them. You and Megan Fox. It's like, it's not natural. There's nothing natural about it. So
now you have to agree politically to be in a serious relationship.
Yeah, like that girl. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So
Which
Ben,
before it was like all the moms were liberals and all the dads were kind of conservatives.
You just didn't talk
now
about
it's
it.
like
now there's trophies.
They can't live. In the last 5 years has probably been the most divorces based on just.
But I think it's the women that make it the issue. I don't think it's dudes being like, you have to. I think there is a portion of dudes that would be okay if they were with like liberal chicks, if they sort of just like shut up about it. Yeah. But now they've I feel like women have made it such an issue. Like it's a non-negotiable now.
Like I don't think any man broke up with a female if you voted for Kamala.
Right.
No. Guys,
but if a guy voted for Trump, if you can see a female be like, I can't be with you.
They're all,
but it's a conservative liberal issue, not even a male female issue. It's just that conservatives in general are like, yeah, there's some liberals who work here. I don't care, but like I think they're retarded, but I don't care. But then the liberals are like, I keyed that guy's fucking Tesla in the parking lot because it's like that
whole thing is so stupid.
But it's also like we also aren't honest with women. Like when you're a young chick, you're sitting on dynamite. You got gold in your pants. But and like I hate to say it, but at some point,
Hello, Crystalia.
At some point, there's a new model coming out. There's a new model coming out, and now you're competing against a younger version of you, a different and it gets really hard very quick. And and nobody tells anybody that. So like you could be like, I'm very picky, but then it's like, hey man, at some point nobody wants you picking them. And it's not that you're not beautiful or you're not fun to hang out with. It's just listen, women look for achievement because it gets down to the most basic drives. Females need men with resources to take care of the children. That is exactly what it is. The more resources, the more you can take, the more the kid's going to live a better life. Men are looking for fertility. They want to have offspring. It's breakdown that simple. And that's why younger girls are more appealing because they have a longer period of fertility. That's it. And it's like, not that you're not attractive or you're not hot. I'm not one of the, oh, dude, she's hit a wall. I don't believe that at all. It's hard to compete with a new model of that who has a longer time of fertility. It's just as primal as it gets. And nobody tells anybody that. We're never honest with anybody.
Right.
Harry Sisson, if he was 40 years old, nobody would care. Or if he was like 43 doing that, it's just this idea of like this guy thinks he can just get success and get what he wants and get pussy and get this and get that. It's like, yeah, because women are allowed to do it with zero success, zero. And I'm not even hating on women, but like even female comics, no offense, but like, they can post a slideshow of just them showing skin and sell tickets, whereas guys can't.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I can post a picture of me looking fat in a fucking lawn chair, but it's not gonna.
I don't know. I think women. There's a percentage of women that would come out to see Matt Rife because they thought he was cute.
Right.
No, well, that's a big part of it. I think Matt's funny.
That is true.
I like him.
He's
but
also funny.
There's a big part.
It's like a charming. Yeah, it's both.
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of that, right? Like
sex sells either way. Maybe I'll take that statement back because I did post a shirtless pic, but I got like 1,000 likes. But I'm just saying that if you're a female,
by the way, 1,000 likes is great for me. By the way, I'll take that. But it gets.
But I mean, if
you're
a female
right,
version of that is like 20,000 likes and like 1 million comments. And I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying that, if you're mad at Harry Sisson for being, you know what I mean, like basically doing what most women do without any success, then that's hypocritical.
And it also gets down to the this whole thing about like feminism and like living in a patriarchy and how somehow like there's this ceiling that you're hitting as a woman and you're like, okay, well, how many people actually have the intelligence to be a CEO? It's like a percentage, like 1%, 2%, okay? But let's take a look at like the other way around where everybody is competing, waiter, service industry, social media. Women have way more success on social media than men. It's like I talk about, but Eric Myers used to have a great joke about it too. It's just like, it's like he could take a picture of him on Mars and get like 50 likes. The girl's like, oh my God, I love pie. 1 million likes. And they don't understand, like, that's not a reality. That's not real for most people. And it's like, for me, it's like, I can't get any, like, Twitter's been good to me. I've been starting to get like 1 million views on some shit, which I'm like, what is that? But for the most part, I get murdered. And I put out Picassos as for tweets. Picassos. But then I put out a video of a fucking chick with a Down syndrome filter on. At the time, I thought it was real, an AI video with her.
Was that the girl at the gym?
No, this is a different one.
There's a lot. I appreciate your confusion. There are a lot, apparently. This is a movement among hot chicks.
Well, it's very weird that like you put downs on a girl with big tits and a fat ass. It got 15 million views.
Oh, it's a recipe for success. Yeah.
But what does that say about us?
We're fucking
that we're
weird,
into downs people?
No, it's just lessening. It's a guy will look at that and go, "Oh, I have a shot. She's retarded."
You're totally right. You're totally right. So
I think it's just funny.
It is.
Yeah,
funny.
well, it is funny,
Yes.
and
they are pretty hot.
No, what's interesting?
Those boobs aren't retarded.
Those boobs aren't retarded. So Ben, talk to me about being a Jew right now. How's that going?
I mean, like I'm only half Jewish, really. My dad's Jewish, my mom's not.
Oh yeah, I bet you would have said that 10 years ago. But now, now I'm half.
I had nothing to do with 9/11. My dad's a Jew.
We didn't shoot JFK.
Well, I think that, look, people blame Jews for everything they always have, and then they just like keep doing it until they end up killing them, and then they realize like, oh fuck, it was actually us. We were just insane. So I think that it's kind of similar now, and I don't know if did Jews kill JFK. I don't know that they,
Yes.
They did.
Yeah.
That's confirmed by who?
By a bunch
files.
of. But listen, I listen.
Because half the tweets on Twitter right now are like, "Here's proof," and then the other half are like, "Jews didn't do it. Here's the proof." So,
well, yeah. I mean, but
There's
here's the whole
gonna
thing.
be a lot of
I don't want to get in the argument because I love you, dude.
can.
I think
Why
you're
not?
great. Because I don't want you to leave the show like with a weird feeling. Because I love you. My girlfriend's Jewish. Mitzi, you wouldn't. No one would be here if it wasn't for Mitzi Shore. She was the only person who cared about me.
I think that because like people blame the Jews, and then every other group is allowed to get away with basically murder.
But okay,
so, like,
I'm glad we're having this conversation
I mean,
because go on.
I just want to get the point out that like right now in America, there's like cities that are raising Palestinian flags, and they're like, this is like a Muslim majority city now, and like nobody cares.
We gotta get
That's
the muzzies
completely
out.
fine. That's fine,
Right.
But it's like Jews who, for the most part, you know, I think they've done positive things.
Well, yeah. Here's my thing about Jews, Ben, and it just like, and I mean this with love, is like, and I just want to have this conversation because people are going to be like, why didn't you ask him this? And so I have to ask you. I think that Jews are wonderful people. My girlfriend, again, Jewish. I could go through all the Jews I have made a wonderful. You know, it's like kind of what Owen Benjamin talks about, deli Jews. We're like, we have all these Jews around us that are great people.
Accounting Jews.
And then, well, counting Jews start getting weird. Okay, but the point is, no, kid. But the point is, I think that Jews are the only group that has this inability to admit that they have crazies in their group. Every other group I know, like we just had a conversation about women and we're all like, oh, these fucking whores. And you're like, yeah, they're fucking whores. And I'm Italian and I can go, yeah, those mobsters are fucking crazy people. Black people. I mean, we made jokes about muzzies and everyone's like, oh, these fucking muzzies. I think that Jews are the only ones that circle the wagon every time. And my only point in saying that is like, I just think it's going to get to a point where Jews are going to have to be like everybody else and be like, yeah, not me. These fucking psychos. I had nothing to do with that because they didn't have anything to do with it. Because like saying that every Jew has something to do with the 9/11 is like saying I had something to do with lying about the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. I had nothing to do with it. Yeah, it was a bunch of white people, and you could say I'm a white guy. I'm Italian, Armenian, but I had nothing to do with it. It's just.
I think it's the opposite of what you're saying, just because it's. Jews already do that. Like every Jew you meet, it's like, yeah, fucking Epstein's retarded, Weinstein, or whatever Jews, Mossad, whatever. Like,
I don't hear that at all, Ben. Ever. I'm going to be honest with you. I never hear it. Ever.
You don't hear that from your girlfriend?
Never. I mean, my girlfriend.
She's pro Epstein.
She's in.
No. But she has now, after October 7th, been like. But dude, she used to get. Hey, dude, what are you fucking anti-Semitic? Wash you rips Armenians. It's the most hilarious thing.
The reason that there's anti-Semitism is that. And it's its own word, and this is just what my thought. Like, okay, I make fun of Asians, right?
Yeah.
But I never say like we need to get them all out of the country, or like I never say like they are the problem. You know, there could be every mayor in fucking America could be Asian, and people would still not be as racist towards Asian people as they are to Jews.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? So like Asians, like they're like Jews are behind the all these industries. It's like. Dude, there's way more. Every single industry people say Jews are in power of, there's like 10 times more Indians, Muslims, and Chinese, just to name a few.
You think there's more Muslims in Hollywood than there are Jews?
Not now, but they didn't make Hollywood, and there shouldn't be more Muslims in Hollywood than Jews.
Right.
I don't think.
So in the media, you think there's more Muslims than there are Jews?
In their countries.
No, but in America.
In America, no. But in their countries, there are.
So let me ask you something. Have Jews done some shady shit? Not all Jews, but are there Jews that have done shady shit?
Of course.
Okay.
But
that's all I'm saying.
But I think that what people need to realize is people are like, why are Jews so in control of the media? And why? Because they fucking came here as immigrants and were like, yo, let's not just be retards. Let's actually do something.
And I'm okay with understanding
they're then penalized by that because it's like they've been fucking, since the 1890s trying to figure out how to create more, spread their culture.
Right.
And I think a lot of it gets bastardized, and that happens with every culture. But there's this hatred towards one Jew does a bad thing, every Jew's blamed, and then even like you said, you're like, why can't you say that Jew was wrong and you're not? It's like they do that.
I didn't say exactly that, but I said that there is a circle to wagons that does go on,
especially with Israel.
Yeah, in Israel, and it's just like,
but it's like obviously that's the only fucking country Jews have.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they could just do what they're doing. Listen, again,
what do you mean? If you're Armenian, are you supposed to shit on Armenia because it's the only?
They
Armenian
start genociding
country?
people. Yeah, maybe.
If Armenians started genociding Turks, I would 100% call it out. 100%.
Yeah,
and
people's definition of genocide now is like, oh my god, they're bombing people and they're getting trapped in the. It's like.
That's pretty genocidal.
I mean, dude, every single international body calls it a genocide. That's all I'm saying.
Every single international body doesn't want Israel to exist.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all.
True.
Everybody would love for Israel to exist
the entire UN. The only countries voting in favor of Israel now is the United States.
And why, Ben? Is it anything they're doing?
Because half of the world's Jews live in Israel and the other half live in the United States.
Yeah, but Ben, but is there something going on that maybe people think is wrong?
What do you mean? Yeah, they've always thought it was wrong. They thought there was no.
Would you say October 7th?
What was the reason that they did the Holocaust? There was no Israel.
What I mean, how deep do you want to go into that? I can go into it really deep.
But there's always a way to go into it deep and explain why it was
But my whole thing is that when someone's like, it's so toxic, I know when people go, it's so toxic on Twitter, what they're talking about is all the quote unquote anti-Semitism. But I would also tell you that in 2018, I watch people tee off on white people and not only not get punished, but get 6-figure jobs writing in Los Angeles. And that's all. So it's like, I'll understand when it's really hard to be, Ben, I love you. So I'm not trying to get in an argument. I just feel like
I actually enjoy this.
Okay. So I just want you to know I love and respect you. And this isn't like, I would hate for you to leave this.
But there's this vibe of like everybody who believes what you believe is like, they'll just say my opinion, which is the opinion of a lot of people, is basically wrong, and then the other opinion's right. And
no, but this is a conversation.
It's somewhere in the middle.
Right. It's a conversation. Like there was a show on Netflix called Dear White People, written by a Jewish trans. And like, you'll never see that go the other way. They did a whole show about how Christians run the U.S. government. You'll never see it go the other way. And so my whole thing is like, this is just a time right now where everybody's getting called out on their bullshit. It's not toxic. Twitter was always toxic. It just now it's everybody's getting it, and people aren't used to that.
But you know what was toxic? World War II was toxic. I mean, people are acting like they're like, what about Twitter? It's like, dude, people were dying.
Right. But you know where else is toxic?
Now they go, oh, the Palestinians are being genocided.
Right, Ben. I don't know anyone who does. 95% of the population thinks that Hitler is the worst human being to ever live on the planet. And what they don't realize is that Mao killed way more. And the Russians, who we openly tee off on, had 2 humongous genocides. They had one where they lost 60 million and another one where Bolsheviks killed up to 10 million. So my point is, it's like World War II is bad. World War II is really bad. There's been, I mean, dude, the fucking Chinese had Mao, and then they had something called the democide. Has anyone ever heard the democide? That's where the Japanese murked 10 million Chinese. Nobody ever you can't go to China and talk about that. If you go on stage and talk about it, they'll shut you the fuck down.
Well, the first thing is that, I mean, in Japan, the atrocities that Japan was doing in China, putting heads on sticks and shit like that, we got them back for that. We fucking nuked them.
Right.
Okay. So number one, and Germany and people, this new argument of like, here's the pie chart where it's like here's all the people that died, and here's only the Jews in World War II, and here's the Jews. It's like, yeah, but we're talking about the way that people died. That's what genocide is. And people have now changed the definition to be like, no, but if your village gets bombed, or if your village gets, in the midst of war, the power is shut off and people freeze to death, this is also genocide. This is all. So what they're doing is they're basically saying that when people came in, first of all, rounded up Jews, put them in the same areas.
Right.
Like my grandparents had 2 kids that were murdered as infants, taken in the middle of the night, and then they would draw blood from those kids. So they go, oh, Jewish blood's not equal to our blood, but they would draw the blood until those kids died and send that blood to the front lines to be used for blood transfusions, et cetera, for the troops. So when people go, and they're living in a caged community,
right?
They're not allowed to leave. They're not allowed to. It's not like but the Palestinians have rights to do things. They had rights to work in Israel. Most of them did. They had rights to.
That's debatable. They controlled their calorie intake. They controlled everywhere they go. They controlled the amount of water they get.
Sounds like a concentration camp.
Yeah,
I would say
completely.
A little bit. I would say so.
It's all bullshit, though.
No, that's not bullshit.
It is.
No,
it is bullshit.
Ben, it's not.
Dude, the Hamas propaganda. First of all, look at the statistics of how many people from Palestine,
But Ben, all
Gaza
this came
and
out
West
way
Bank,
before October 7th. This data's way
I went to
before.
university. I went to university with Palestinians. Okay?
Right.
So they escaped, and then oh yeah, where's your sister? Oh, she's in Palestine. She's in Gaza for a bit. Then she's coming back. There's this. It's not like Cuba where they can't leave legally. They can leave. They do not want to because people there care more about killing Jews than being prosperous. And it's the same thing with the woke people. That's why they love the Palestine movement, because it's all about who cares about being prosperous? Who cares about creating something like Hollywood or the media organizations or becoming a CEO? Let's just protest shit and throw rocks in the street. And I mean, that's the people will argue with me and they'll say, no, it's a genocide. And then they post videos. They go, here's how beautiful Gaza was before October 7th. So why were they not enjoying it then?
Because when does that picture come out? And they did annihilate. There's never been a time when 80% of the population's killed and 100% of the territory is pretty much annihilated. It's never happened before.
It's only like 50,000 people.
That's not 50,000 people. The number's over 300,000.
But where do you get that number?
I get that from like the UN, people on the ground, everybody like that. And it's like
the UN is.
Ben, do you still believe in 40 babies got their heads fucking chopped off? Is that a true story? Who? 40 babies had their heads chopped off? That propaganda?
Dude, everything that Hamas did is true.
Okay. And Hamas is who funds Hamas, Ben?
Literally almost every country in the world.
Yeah, and Israel through Qatar. And we have clips of Netanyahu saying he
bragging about
creating Hamas to counter the PLO.
Yeah, but they didn't want it. They didn't organize Hamas.
100% they did.
I mean, that's a conspiracy theory.
No, it's not, dude. It's not because you don't like a fact. It doesn't mean it's conspiracy theory. And it's the same game plan played over and over again with ISIS and Al Qaeda. The United States, Israel created both of them. Okay, well, the United States created Al Qaeda, and the U.S. and Israel created ISIS. That's how it goes. I mean, that's how you do. You create a problem, reaction, solution. It's how it's created.
I mean, I'm not the only person who would stand up and say that's a debatable point.
It is. It's not a debatable point. There's videos of him saying it. He's quoted over and over and over again. Dude, the news in Haaretz or whatever that newspaper is literally talked about Haaretz talking about how Netanyahu's funding of Hamas through Qatar has come back in blowback. Ben Swan, I can send you a video, breaks down everything on October 7th. It's the same exact thing. And again, I love you. But I like you too. It has nothing to do with not liking you. It's just that
you're getting your information from one place.
I'm not getting it from one place. I'm getting from all over the place, over and over again. And I'm getting it from Israeli media.
There are people in Israel who want Israel to not exist as well, by the way.
Okay.
And that's true. There are left-wing organizations there. They think that they should give. Most of the people who were massacred actually were pro-Palestinian that lived on the border towns and were trying to help those people. Okay, so that's number one. But you can't look at this issue and go, okay, so because everybody says the same thing you're saying online about this is why they funded every single bad thing that Israel ever happened to Israel. Israel made it happen on purpose. And every single bad thing happening to the West is Israel made it on purpose. So what's the solution? The solution would be the end of Israel, demolish it, give it back to the Palestinians, and where would the Israelis go? I guess America, and then I'm sure everybody would be super happy about that.
Brooklyn, L.A. No, I think most people. There was a time when everyone lived together peacefully.
No, there wasn't. There's never been.
There's always been. There was even before that in Palestine. There were Jews, Muslims, and Christians all living peacefully.
When they were all uneducated, they had no idea what the fuck was going on. They were herding goats. They obviously weren't.
There's nothing wrong with being a farmer.
No, but I'm just saying that the more people got, the more mosques that appeared, the more synagogues that appeared, people start creating their differences. But I truly believe that people on the side of what you're trying to explain are pushing us in a direction that was basically they want Israel to not exist. The Muslims will take over that area. The Muslims will keep pouring into the Europe. That's going to keep happening. Like the second Israel's gone, it's going to be like floodgates going in there. And they want the U.S. out of the Middle East. They want all the Middle Eastern countries, as corrupt and fucked up as they are, to have full control over that area. And we're just going to hope and pray that's going to be a good thing. So I think that whether Israel gave money here and then they gave money because they wanted the fucking Palestinians to be prosperous beside them and trade with them and be normal, and they don't want that. So to say like, this is the conspiracy. They wanted the Palestinians to go to war so that they could then kill them. That's people losing it, I think. And you can have your opinion. I respect it. But my opinion is that people will find any little thing to then go, okay, well, Epstein, that means that all Jews should leave that area.
My whole thing is I think we need to get to a place where we're like, it's not all Jews. And there are some, if people are okay with saying Islamic extremists, we should be able to say Talmud Zionists, or pedophile Catholics, we should be able to say Talmud Zionists, or Christian nationalists, we should be able to say Talmud Zionists. I think it's all the same.
Most people don't even know what the Talmud is.
Yeah, I know. That's another thing too, but that's my opinion. You have
to be like a fucking religious scholar to fucking understand that shit.
But the point is like of all the Abrahamic religions, all of them have extremists, and we should be able to acknowledge that.
I just looked up the other day, though. For instance, everybody says how much money we give to Israel. The U.S. gives more money to Muslim countries than Israel.
Well, there's more Muslim countries than there are Israel. But listen, again,
you're making my point, though. Like the point is that anything Muslims do is Jews' fault.
It's not, dude. I'm not saying that
it's
at all.
Chinese people. It's their fault.
It is the Chinese people, though, because the China knows that this is going on. They're using everybody's anger towards Israel against them. Meanwhile, they're continuing to pour spies into the U.S., into Canada, into Europe. They're continuing to push people into Parliament.
Stealing our IP.
Is Israel doing that?
They don't have the ability to do it on the scale China does.
That's all I'm saying is
every country
respectfully
doing some
disagree.
Shady stuff.
Yeah, they all do, but it's like the inability to say that Mossad is spying on us or any of that stuff is why we're here.
China has
fine with that.
massive
I'm fine with that.
Industrial-sized concentration camps right now.
I agree with that.
Of Muslim people.
I agree with that.
And nobody cares. Millions of people. I'm not talking, and whatever you want to say, it's 40,000, 300,000, 2 million. they have the entire population of what Palestine is, of Arabs in concentration camps right now, making whatever we want, pride flags.
I agree, man. And a lot of them are flowing into Syria right now. They're talking about a lot of Uyghurs are there right now. So I'm with you on that.
Syrians are walking around with AK-47s going into people's homes and blowing their brains out.
Yep, I agree.
That's okay. There's no protest for that. But when Jews retaliate, and you can argue that, well, they shouldn't be there in the first place. That's the number. Oh, well, they should have all never been there, and they should have never colonized it. And they should have never blah, 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 blah. But the reality is they are there, and they're getting attacked. What the fuck are they supposed to do?
Okay, I understand what you're saying. It's just going to be a vicious circle of conversations about, chicken and the egg.
So you're okay with how they've handled the settlements?
Dude, the settlement, like everybody who bitches about that, though, it's like, dude, it's
no. But are you? A simple question: do you think that policy is acceptable? The state policy of the settlements is an acceptable.
I don't think it's a reason to go and cut people's heads off.
But do you think the policy's okay, though? I
think that the reason they're doing it is so in America it's a huge country. You're talking about a small country. Israel's small. They want to expand their borders. They have more and more people moving there all the time.
Yeah, but you're just saying like, okay, they're already there, so what can we do about that? But now they're doing the same thing. They're expanding the territory even further into other places where people.
Yeah, the Greater Israel Project.
Those can be. I don't. Too bad. I personally think that if Israel is part of the American empire, which it is, it's part of the European Western Empire, right? I mean, it is. Yeah,
we bought
just like Australia is, just like New Zealand is. Other countries have done these things already. It's just that we're watching it in real time. America did the same thing. If you watch American Primeval, I mean, the whole fucking thing is blowing up, Indian Americans. Native Americans. So
yeah, it's 2025 though.
Yeah, and I also everyone really does condemn that
in 1948. So every country that's created,
but it's condemned,
is going to go through that.
Everybody condemns.
Oh, is that so? This is just the growing pains for Israel.
yeah. Okay. But people have to realize this happened in America.
The terrible twos for Israel.
Well, I'm just gonna say this. Yeah. I'm glad we had you on, Ben. I love talking to you. I hate ending on this. But I feel like if we didn't have this conversation, people would be like, "Why didn't you have this conversation?"
It's good though. These are the kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, as long as
people will hate me either way.
No, I don't think people will hate you. I think people like you.
But there's a lot of. I think
you're crushing it.
I'm standing up for a lot of people because the dominant view is now what you guys believe, which is that it's a genocide. They shouldn't be there. None of this should be happening.
All right.
So I'm going to stand up and say, like, can we stop being pussies with why are they expanding their territory? Because there's fucking people moving there and it's a sick country. Fuck it. And what are the Palestinians doing? Did they work? Did they spend?
I mean, that's a hardcore.
That's a pretty Zionist take, which is fine. I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Did they spend the last 65 years before, let's say, the last 15 years? Did they spend the last 60 years trying to become prosperous, trying to figure? Because if that had happened and there was no blowing up of the buses and
but you can have an argument about there's an invisible hand making it impossible for that to happen. Yeah. And then I can get into deeper about who controls Israel, in my humble opinion, and we can go into that. But again, I mean, I would love to have that conversation with you, Ben, anytime. I mean this in love. I just keep saying that because I would hate for you to for us to have something because I respect you so much as a comedian.
I would never be upset with you because you believe those things. A lot of people believe what you believe, and it's not the reasoning you believe it is just because of the perspective is different. Because the perspective is, which is scary for me, is that people on the right and the left now agree on one thing, which is basically that Jews shouldn't have that country. Everything they did there was wrong. Everything they did there is a crime.
I don't think any of us believe they shouldn't have that country.
I'm fine with Jews having a homeland. I don't understand how it's any different than white nationalism, but I'm fine with Jews having a homeland. But it's not the expense of Palestinians. I would find a happy medium. I feel like one side is funded and armed and the other side is just getting murked. And that's what I think most people are upset about.
But I think that most people don't realize that, like, that is kind of not true because Iran is sending them hundreds of millions of dollars. A lot of their weapons are underground. They're using non-traditional weapons. They don't have tanks. They don't have certain things, but they have tons of
Ben,
manpower.
is your belief that the Palestinians have the same amount of weaponry as Israel? Is that what you're saying?
No, they don't. But the reason is because the Israel knows how much weapons they have, and they're like, we have to have more than that. They literally had to develop the Iron Dome.
So the notion is that you believe that Hamas will just throw a weapon, throw a bomb or a missile into Israel, fully knowing that all hell is about to break loose, and whatever number it is, 50,000, I believe it's 300,000, are going to die. That's what they're going to do?
Well, number one, half of the number of the people dead are soldiers, or were.
Yeah, but you've had attacks like there was one day where 3/4 of the people were women and children who died.
They were told to go to an area would be safe, and then they bombed that.
I mean, if that's true, that's not right, and I'm sure.
I mean, it's Al Jazeera. I got Al Jazeera up here. It was March 18th last year. So.
But Al Jazeera,
I know.
Well,
I know.
never gonna.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no such thing. It's just
all I'm saying. If you listen to Israeli news, or if you're, it's.
I do. I listen to that. I subscribe to that one newspaper.
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying that killing people is wrong. What I'm saying is that Israel values the life of their own citizens more so than the people of Palestine.
Then why did they show up early on October 7th? Why did it take them so long to get there on October?
Okay, now you're going into deeper things. I don't want to go into that. But Ben, listen, and I mean this with love. Anytime you want to come on, I like this discussion. It's a fun discussion.
People need to hear the other side of it, because otherwise you guys are going to end up in an echo chamber as well, where it's just like,
I don't think you're wrong about that. I know that about Twitter,
and I'm not
too.
saying you're wrong about any of this stuff, and maybe I'm wrong about some stuff, but all I'm defending is that, like, if America got 9/11, but then people go, oh, well, it's Israel. So it can never, nothing can ever.
But could it be Israel? Could it?
Could it be Muslims?
Could it? But okay.
Could it have been Muslims?
It could be Muslims. Could it be Israel on 9/11?
It could have been.
Okay.
It could have been,
right.
but it's kind of like when Trump said, and then a bomb could land on your head right now. Like,
that was so funny.
My point is that there is another side of it. Yeah. And I almost don't feel like it's like when COVID happened and it was like everybody just turned and was like, yo, if you're fucking not wearing a mask, if you're not getting, if you're not afraid, if you're not willing to be locked down, like, you're part of the problem. You're a bio terrorist. You're all this stuff. It's becoming like that with the Jew thing, where it's like, if you're a Jew, you just have to submit to non-Jews and go, you're right, the Palestinians deserve to live and we don't, and we did control everything and we did do Hollywood and it's all our fault. And it's like, I think that's just like fucked up. Honestly.
You don't feel like you're hardening though? Because I mean, the fact that you can't even give ground on the settlements,
the fact that people care about that and don't realize
But it's human life, dude. And it's like people living in, that's my whole thing. Like, if you go, hey, Sam, fucking people are attacking and being evil to Jews, I'd be like, yeah, that's wrong. Because most Jews, like everybody else, are just living their life. That's my whole argument is most Jews are living their life. As you move up any group, up the power level, you get to the top, there's a concentration of psychopaths of every group. And I just feel Jews are the only group that will not recognize that. Every other group goes, yeah, they're crazy. I have nothing to do with that. I just feel because of when you bring up World War II, it's been ingrained into them that, a genocide is coming, even though, again, Russians, Chinese, Christians in Russia, we can go through the whole group. There's been other genocides that were way bigger. And we're allowed to openly tee off on them.
I don't know the specific, I don't know what genocides you're talking about of Asians and Russians, but I think part of it's because the smaller their population is very small. So when they were European population, what was it of Jews? It was like 12 million before the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Was it 15 million?
It's something like that. Yeah.
So, and then after it was like what, 6 or 5 or now it's like not like less than 1 million, right? So I think that it's different because people want to kill Jews for a different reason. They're not just moving through.
But is a death a death? I mean, like, you know, when this thing that what you sound like is when they make hate crime a thing. Death
is not a death. Death is not a death.
A death is not a death. So if I kill you because you're a white guy, that's not the same as killing you because you're a Jew.
If somebody kills somebody who's on death row for murder,
right?
Is that equal to
walking down the street? Okay, that I feel like that's a false equivalent because what we're talking about is innocent people, right? I mean, that's kind of the discussion that we're having. Is that an innocent person? If an innocent white guy dies versus an innocent Jewish person dies, is one death worse than the other?
I don't think that's. I think it's how they're being killed and why they're being killed. It's not necessarily the race or skin color. If people went door to door looking for white people and started dragging their children out of the homes and rounding them up and putting them in certain areas and killing them, then that would be bad.
It also matters that they were a minority too, or are a minority. I mean, I think I'm agreeing with you there. I think that matters. Yeah.
But white people are basically a minority now. So I think that a lot of what's happening is...
What do you mean by that?
Well, globally, they're a minority, right?
Well, but I mean, I'm just okay. We're thinking like the Western world here. I think,
but now I'm talking about now. I'm not talking about like World War II. But look, we could talk about this forever. But I agree with you on certain things. Yes, there's bad Jews, there's bad people of all things. But what I disagree is that I think you're seeing it the way of like Jews aren't coming out and saying that these Jews are bad. There aren't really other races doing that either. Like black people all the time. Black people don't need to apologize for Diddy.
They do it all. Listen, and this is a brand new thing too. You have on YouTube. There's just giant channels of black people calling out white people, black people shit. Again, this is all I'm saying. Like, if there's this notion that anti-Semitism is everywhere. I'm like, hate. The internet was built on hate. Like, everyone gets hate now. I just the past laws, anti-Semitism laws, to me is absolutely insanity.
What do you think of Netanyahu? Before we go here.
I mean, a lot of people don't like him. A lot of Israelis don't like him.
What do you think?
They're familiar with him. I mean, I'm not like super Jew. I just defend what I think is right. I think that people want an enemy, and even America. Look at all the enemies. America's making all these enemies with its own allies, right? Canada, Israel. I've got Taiwan as on the chopping block potentially. All these countries that we're giving money to that we don't feel we should.
Yeah, but Netanyahu, I mean, has been a target long before Trump was in office. Or do you think he's because there's this defense of him that he's a product of his times. He kind of is a man who met this threat. I would suspect maybe you feel that way about him. Is that?
I mean, dude, like people who are on. Like the tip that you're on basically hate all of the prime ministers. The only prime minister they would like is if a prime minister was like, we're giving back all the settlements, we're giving back all the land.
But you're misreading me if you're putting me on that. But no, I think Netanyahu is
I think he's the Dick Cheney of that era.
A special case.
You know,
people so I have a friend that is part of the Canadian Armed Forces, and he was stationed in Lebanon. And part of Canada's mission in Lebanon was helping train the Lebanese government forces, which is different from Hezbollah. It's a smaller political party in Lebanon. And what people don't realize is just like the sheer complexity of the area and the fact that these militant groups like Hezbollah, which are backed by Iran, like we all know this is true, whether you want to talk about, well, that's through this.
No, that's true. Iran sucks too, to be clear.
I think
these governments all suck.
They all suck. They can all suck a fat one.
But I think that like Israel, like October 7th, whether you say it was pre-planned, whatever, and people say that 9/11 was pre-planned. People say that fucking random cars driving through people on the street was pre-planned. Everything's pre-planned. Nothing can just happen now. And that's what I mean,
we know that the FBI knew about 9/11 before it was going to happen.
Right. I mean, Russia was warning the United States about before it was going to happen.
was specifically what was going to happen, or that something was going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, the Looming Tower series is all about that. If you've read that, it's
Okay. Well,
I mean, it was. They make it. They attribute it to the bumbling of the intelligence agencies, but or the CIA and the FBI. But I mean, I think it's something a little darker.
I think that they probably looked at that threat and went, "That's fucking insane. There's no way they're going to be able to pull that off."
Right.
It's
almost like it's impossible to pull off without some state actor.
Well, this is what I think is dangerous, is that people don't realize that like there are actually just people trying to do fucked up shit.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
most of them work for the FBI.
I'm with you, Ben.
That's one side of it. And honestly, I think it's easier to live like that. Like, I think it's easier consciously to be like, you know what? It was the FBI. It was the CIA. It was Israel. It wasn't just people wanting to kill. It's easier mentally. It's kind of like when you have
Is
to think
it?
of it.
Is it easier?
Yeah, I think. Well, clearly it is, because so many people latch onto it. It's way harder to go.
That's not the mainstream point of view, though. That 9/11
My own opinion is, and I don't want to keep you here all day, Ben, but
that is the mainstream.
There's a bunch of psychopaths, Ben, at the highest levels. There's a bunch of psychopaths. I believe, Ben, that most people just want to live their life. And I don't think that means everybody does that. But I think the majority of people want to live their life, start a family, take care of their family, and leave something for their kids. And at the top of all these religions are psycho fucking paths, dark fucking art psychopath who are constantly trying to thin the herd. And they're of all religions. There's not one religion that does not fit into this. And this whole point of this show has always been all religions. That's it. That's it. No, my whole thing will always be, I don't think anyone should be treated unfairly or with special treatment. That's it. That's at the end of it. And I can't control what some people think, because there's always going to be fucking retards out there. And there's like people tweeting in 2018, yeah, I'm racist. I hate white people. Those people, dude, they're fucking retards too. But nobody was going nuts on that shit. Well, they were. And that's why we're in the place we are right now, where political correctness is dying. So I understand where you're coming from, and I love you, and I just don't ever want you to think I don't love you.
No, but I'll say this is the last thing, because I don't want to argue this, and I get all your guys' points, because I read them all the time. But like, what people don't realize is, like, this is how bad it is now. Wait 10 years, okay? Like, we already have fucking Kanye wearing swastika necklaces, like. People want to be like, well, yeah, but it's 109 countries, and it's because the Jews fucking did this. The Jews. Okay, let's just let it go. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, but dude, Ben, we were told a story about 19 hijackers flying a plane into a building, okay? And we could have a real discussion whether that is real or not, that story. Okay, whether that actual what they said happened. And because that story was sold to us by the mainstream media, 4 million Iraqis died, and they had nothing to do with 9/11. That's what we're talking about. What you're talking about is this slippery slope of like, oh, this hate and this theory of hate could lead to this, when in reality, a story was sold to us that resulted in 4 million Iraqis dying. So when we talk about 9/11 and who could possibly be involved, what we're talking about is accountability and actually going, these 4 million Iraqis didn't need to die. And that's what it is. So the theory of something.
9/11 out of that, though. Who did 9/11? Completely irrelevant to the Iraqis dying. It was all the lying, the incredible lying on behalf of the government.
Right, but it was bounced off of 9/11.
Right, but I'm saying you can, if you want to just do this intellectually, you can take 9/11 out of that equation,
right,
and just get to them lying about
Iraqis
weapons of mass destruction.
So that's my whole thing. That's why I go, not all. I believe innocent life is innocent life, and you could break down, oh well, this. Well, innocent life is dead, and it's super sad to me.
Yeah, but also it's about we're on teams, and we want our team to win. And
okay,
I think that
I will respect that.
People forget that they want to go every all life is the same, but half this conversation was talking about how all cultures aren't the same, and how when Indian people in Canada come en masse, the country does change, or when
I agree with that.
So this idea that all life is the same, well, it's not the same in India. Because if you get hit by a car in India, nobody's fucking pulling over to help you.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
like
true.
It's not like America where people are fucking pulling over the car and sitting with you as you die and calling the ambulance. That is not happening in every country. So you may have the vision, the good heart, and a lot of people who are on this side of like the Jews did everything wrong have good hearts and they want to be. But like I just pulled up a stat just for fun because the first part of what you said was like, you really think that many people hijacked a plane and dude, between 1990 and like even 2005, like there's like 20 to 40 plane jackings happening a year.
Right. But the 9/11 was like, so they had a bunch of people, they told us, flew a plane in some Luke Skywalker trying to destroy the Death Star maneuver that just is impossible to do. You talk to any pilot, they're like, that's impossible. And
dude, have you not played? Like I literally love Flight Simulator games.
Yeah, me too.
I love it. It's literally the only thing that everybody does is fly the planes.
Okay, did you? Okay, okay,
that's the only thing people do. They take off.
A Jew flew a plane into some buildings. Interesting. Anyways, Ben, we love you. I know you. I hope to God you know I love you, and I'm so happy you came on the show. And I love this conversation.
All people are not equal. America's number one. Bomb the living shit out of everybody who fucks with us, and that's where I'm at.
By the way, if you think we're extreme, we think Woody Allen is innocent on the show.
Okay, so we support Woody Allen.
We really do.
He's the Jewish most Jew.
It's fun. I think this conversation is something that nobody is willing to have in a like civilized manner, and I think it's important for people to do it and not hate each other because.
Well, we love you, buddy, and I mean that with all my heart. I really love everything you're doing, and I appreciate you coming on. All right, let's break down the episode. All right, nothing but bangers, fireworks at the end. I hope you guys stayed long enough to enjoy it. We're not going to go too long into anything, but Detroit, Michigan, next weekend, Tacoma, Washington. Got more dates coming. What else?
Redondo Beach, Sam Tripoli, April 3rd. We Don't Smoke the Same comedy show. Pull up. It's going to be a great time.
Grab your tickets now. I'm going to be at the Stand Up Comedy Club in Bellflower soon, too. So you'll be able to get that. Dude, the premium content on samtripoli.com is absolute fire. You get reaction videos, you get deep dives, you get great conversations with a bunch of your favorite conspiracy theorists. All that at samtripoli.com. Cash Daddy's Patreon is fire. We love that. Grab that. Go all the way. Dude, the Chaos Twins are making dreams come through. T-shirts. We got brand new T-shirt, everybody. Look at that. Common Sense is the new punk rock. That's right. Check that out. A great way to support the show. Next. And then, of course, we got these Fuck Suck shirt that's on the second page. Aquacure Hydrogen Brown Gas. There we go. You're trying your best, buddy. Buy Gold. Rife Technologies. One more time. Right, Matt Rife got in an accident. We want to make sure we're sending him love.
Yeah.
Sending him love, dude. We're just sending you love. Heal up quick. Oxygen, hydrogen, brown gas.
That was a fantastic song you just did there.
Sending you love, heal up quick. Bang, bang, pow.
You're really a multi-talented
bang,
person.
Bang, pow. Mineral Kings, dude. Save your soil if you're growing stuff. Mineral King will help you get right. Get yourself right. Get your soul right. Chemical-free body. Again, I'm about to get my supplements going. Harley Ray. We love their crystals. We love their candles. EMF Rocks. If you're looking for some Faraday bags to stop the dirty electricity, we're in it. Joel Staley gets you in shape. Brain Supreme makes our good friend Xavier Guerrero not Mexican retarded, okay? Not Mexican. You know retards are bad. Now you put Mexican in front of it, even worse. That's right. Microdosing is how you make it happen. And then Prometheus, if you're looking for off the decentralized website, which mine is, Nuke Social, getting all my social media there. Join us. Tinfoil Hat, Telegram, the Zero Telegram, anything else?
Hit that like button, subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. It really helps with the algorithm, please.
Johnny.
New Broken Sim has happened to you all. Check it out. Go check us out on YouTube, dude. We have We still have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Sam Tripoli. We're trying to get over one. Did we get over 150 yet?
We're almost there.
150,000? Like, we're
you guys
so
got,
close.
You guys got some good merch over there
So
too.
Also, man, we got to get some. We could check out Sam Tripoli stand-up comedy on YouTube. I'm putting all my comedy up there.
Yeah, just search Sam Tripoli. It comes up before the main channel.
Why is everybody getting quiet? Look at that. What a great fucking day to be alive. Enjoy these highlights.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
We're in Biden's fake Oval Office,
Look at that,
everybody. And
dude.
I've actually figured this out. I now know why. I now get it. Turn the camera around. There is a screen, teleprompter to the face. All I can say is the last administration was a disgrace.
Yeah, I agree with her, dude. And we all knew it, and they kept gaslighting us that it wasn't that, and we knew it.
Yeah, you think they would have deconstructed the set, you know, like before they brought the
No, because you think they're smart.
no, they're not. You're totally
They're
right.
not. Once he was dead in the water, they couldn't give a shit about him. He was carcass.
So Trudeau on his way out.
Oh, so
did you
fun.
see this? He made the blackface pose with. He made the face again that he was making in that blackface picture.
Let me see it.
Like, okay, so here's the blackface picture. You see, sticking the tongue out, and then look what he does when he's on his way out here, dude. All right, there it is. There's the black.
No, there it is down
and
there.
then look,
Yeah,
he does that on the way out. What do you?
Yep.
Do you think that? See it right there in the middle.
yeah. The question is, where does he go? What does he do?
Well, I think he's still an MP. No, I don't. I bet he'll be at the head of some kind of multinational corporation, something like that, getting paid from all the people that he helped.
I mean, dude, the guy literally just like him and Gavin Newsom are the same guy.
Oh yes,
They were sent into
Completely,
the
dude.
Bolsheviks, dude.
completely.
Bolsheviks.
Completely. This is the strangest thing you'll see maybe this year. Did you see this? This is just.
Bro,
So Michelle Obama has announced, I thought this was fake at first. I just thought this has to be AI. Announced a podcast with her brother,
who is like
who is
really
her plus 20, 30 pounds as a man.
and
with
more
no hair.
feminine looking.
Yeah,
right?
more feminine.
Like,
Yeah.
why does he have makeup
It's
on?
almost like this is Michelle Obama if she was a woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it really is.
Hey TikTok, it's Michelle Obama, and I'm here with my big brother Craig.
Hey, everybody.
We're
Stop.
here because
Now,
we're
Craig
excited
was,
to
you know,
announce
Craig
the
was the
launch of our new-
Oregon, either Oregon or Oregon State head basketball coach.
This guy was?
Yeah, and he was garbage, dude.
Men's basketball?
Men's basketball.
Craig
Robinson, I think
Yeah,
is his name.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's weird, right? Craig Robinson.
But it's like really weird because he has like, that's the most feminine face.
Does he have lipstick on?
He's
It
got
looks like he's got
gay, he's got gay face.
mascara on. Yeah.
Gay face, right?
Like my gaydar is going off
Now,
big time.
now Michelle Obama is Johnny. What does it feel like to work with a legend who calls it all the time?
Who's that?
This guy right here, Sweet Sammy T.
Oh, okay.
So I've called a long time ago that there's something called system entertainers, right? And Michelle Obama is the best example of that.
What, like a system quarterback? Is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
that can only work in a certain system, right? And if you take them out of that system, you see with comedians who get these big specials and then they do like a YouTube or a podcast and no one listens to it. So they stop it instantly because it starts to let you know what's really going on, that they were never really
that popular.
like maybe stand-up wise, they can sell tickets in the theater because they're on television. People, you know, it's like Dana Carvey said, you could take literally a bowl of shit, put it on television.
Yeah.
And, like, I honestly believe, I would love to know how many tickets Joe Rogan's dog could sell on the road.
Yeah, no, you're so right. Yeah,
How many, dude, like Joe Rogan's dog has like 300,000 followers on Instagram.
it's not zero for sure.
No, it's like
just
300.
to watch somebody, not even Joe Rogan, like whistle to it and get it to run across the stage a few times and do some tricks.
Like,
Yeah,
dude,
totally.
how many people would pay just to go to the theater to watch that dog play catch?
Yeah, play catch. Yeah.
So, like, she has been promoted to us that, you know, to the point where they're like, she should run. The system's like, she
Yes.
should run. She's so fucking popular. And then you go to this, her podcast flamed out.
I will say it's no coincidence that both her and Gavin Newsom are doing this long form thing now. They learned from the Kamala thing. They're like, hey, we got to get out there in this long form.
Yeah, she doesn't want to run for president because she could have been the choice.
No, I think she knew that they had no chance this time around. They had no chance. She had no chance. Trump was going to win. And I think she knew. She's like sitting this one out, bro. But you're doing like the Xanax got like.
No, I had to change.
Oh, is that your glasses doing that?
Yeah, it's hurt my nose. But the point is, dude, it got like Sam Tripoli on YouTube numbers.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, no, actually, we got better numbers than she did.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, this was
Podcast called IMO.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/Sam Tripoli.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil Hat.